Welcome back to the Lifespring Gauge, episode 14, Stained Glass Memories. Separated in Havenorel, the majority of the group spend some time figuring out what they want to do next, and also find out a little more about the things threatening the world. But yeah, so let's crack on, and we will remind ourselves what happened at the end of last time, as you guys hopped onto a raft on the magic river and tore arse down to Havenorel, as Wolf skillfully, presumably Wolf or one of you three, I'd say Wolf, with Wolf's boat with Kudo and Lou in it was brought in skillfully to the boats. You looked around and you saw this look of panic and I don't know what to do on Laffy's face as she just barreled past. And it's not like she's heading out to sea. It's very much like she's missed her stop.
It's like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes away, but it's such an inconvenience. But we'll come back to that in a moment. As Kudo, Lou, and Wolf are stepping off this raft into the city of Havenorel. Havenorel, you've been here before. You started off here. I was going to count how many days it was, but I quite frankly have not. And I think it's about 2 weeks, like about 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that.
I think it's been slightly longer.
It's around that time. It's like a flexible. It was like 2 days.
It's like 12 and 15 or something.
It's like 3 days to do the house, and then 5 days travel, and then like 4 or 5 days in the Vale.
Yeah, it's something like that.
So yeah, it's something like about 30. Yeah, whatever it is, it's just about a fortnight it's been since you've been here, and the town hasn't changed much in that. That is still a bustling place, especially where you are now by the docks. This is a very, very busy place, and the fact that Laffy is like torn through it, going at breakneck speed, is actually quite impressive more than anything. It's like, oh my gosh, no! She's gone past at a fair old clip because there's people unloading barges, canoes, kayaks, not freighters. It's not like a huge port, but there's like lots of little ports dotted around. So presumably she'll be fine. Like she's not going to go all the way through the city. The chances of that are astronomically small.
Unless she's sleeping.
Unless she's like desperately trying to pick up the paddle and she's holding it the wrong way and she's like hitting, Rusty's like paddling at the back trying to slow you down. It's just
like when they spin the paddle around and like she does it really fast and Rusty has to duck so he doesn't get smacked.
Yeah, and he's just being violently sick off the side of the boat.
Oh no!
I like to imagine that Rusty gets smacked, and that's why she was like distracted and lost.
Yes, actually, that works quite well. Yeah, she picked it up to like slow down. She clouted Rusty in the face by accident. Like, oh
no! Oh my
Kermie!
baby!
She's gone off. Lou, Kudo, and Cerulean Wolf step off with possibly a look of minor anxiety as two of your party are disappearing off into the distance.
More than minor.
For you it's pretty severe. What you're like 90% sure she'll be fine. Like you can see she's heading towards like a netted area. Chances are she's just. I think the other problem is she's going to be on the other side of the bridge, and the bridge is like 45 minutes walk away. Oh, it's going to be a whole thing to get her to you. Yeah, it's just going to be a whole ass thing. In fact, it doesn't need to be that bad anymore because I was actually planned that because Beth was actually not going to be here, so I can scale back now as you see her like crash into a wall on the other side. Very like teeter. Is she going to fall? Beth, Laffy, can you roll a dex save, please?
Oh no!
And so is Rusty.
Does he also roll or?
Oh yeah.
I like to imagine that
creature in there.
That's a rock, James.
Oh, is that the rock? Oh, that's different artwork than the last.
Oh, maybe is that just been a rock and a rock?
Yeah, a rock.
ROC. Image of a really short bridge that's just like 45 minutes because Rusty has short legs.
Well, I will tell you this, right? Rusty goes in. That's the rock. That's the rock. It's actually a beast, I think, or like a monster. Yeah, but it's a really cool one. Anyway, so Rusty goes in. You almost go in, Laffy, but this very familiar face leans down, grabs you by your hand. Rusty grabs your foot, and the druid lady that you met on your first session, the city druid lady, Sissy, yeah, thank you for remembering because I have full forgotten, pulls you off your boat, Rusty's hanging onto your feet, and she pulls you off onto the other side of the boat. You're really familiar with the city, Cerulean Wolf. You could probably get over there. It's going to take you a few hours, and you wave at each
hours
other.
to get over there.
Well, because you've got it's a functional dock. You can't, without getting back into the water, and your boat's kind of been disappeared now. You'd have to swim across, otherwise you've got to walk all the way around.
Just making this noise for me.
Yeah. But yeah, so like you on the opposite side of the dock. You're all fine. What are people doing? What's going on? What was the plan when you got back? Did you race back and left
I would like to know
four
where
orphans in the Vale?
the closest entrance to the hunt is.
Okay, it's not far from here. It's probably I won't say it's on the way to get Laffy, but it wouldn't take you far out of your way to get there.
Okay.
If you're heading in the same kind of direction. You are, let's say on the map it doesn't really matter, but let's say kind of you are here, and the entrance would be kind of like over here.
So we're like
yeah,
or like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, whatever, yeah. It's not, this map isn't fully fleshed out yet.
Well, that would be my first thought. I wouldn't. That's messy. I say to the two who are next to me, I need to talk to some people. It's on the way to get Laffy, or slightly out of the way, but it's fine. It shouldn't. I don't know how long it's going to take me.
Do you think we should go after them? I would assume they would be heading towards her, so if we just follow them, I think there's a chance.
Can someone shout over to Laffy and ask if she's okay?
I would, but I doubt she can pay the voice training fee.
I mean, you can see her. She's like 100 feet away.
But I have to raise my voice, and nobody's paying me. So.
What did you want to ask me again?
Just ask if she's okay.
I'm just gonna look over to all of them and see them all standing there, like twiddling their thumbs, and just like literally like my profile picture of Laffy.
James,
just like wave and smile.
James, can I, with prestidigitation, can I basically make a sparkling writing in the air above me?
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Can I do okay question mark?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't all appear at once, and it's quite difficult to see. But you can just see like the letters O and then K and then question mark appear from across. But I mean, you can see her; she stood there.
That's what I'm saying. Can one of you just shout, please? Like, this doesn't have to be difficult.
I mean, you can also shout. Let us not forget that you do have a voice.
James is my character. I'm just gonna look at Laffy, give her like a thumbs up.
I'm just gonna give a thumbs up back.
I'm just gonna like start walking towards where I know the entrance to be.
Okay,
just because I feel like that I don't know what just happened in the last 2 minutes.
I don't know what just happened there. Okay, so you start heading off. Lou and Kuda, are you following?
Where are you?
I got this.
I'm just going to meet some people. I will. If I don't, I'm gonna go over to where Laffy is afterwards. If I don't see you there, then I'll meet you back at the Citizen Room, which is the tavern we all met up at.
Sure, see you there by night.
Yeah, I shouldn't be too long.
I will go my own ways. I don't think I should join you.
No, that makes sense. So, so there's 4 of us. You're all going in different directions, which is fine. So let's go down in. Can everyone roll a d6? Let's see who rolls the highest, and they'll go first. Oh, who was that?
Me.
Oh, well, 6. Well, this is perfect. Someone roll a 4 and a 3.
I'm going last, by the way, if someone wants to go ahead.
I've got 3.
Oh, so good. Oh,
damn it, one of you two.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, so we'll do. So, there we go. That worked out quite well.
We don't have the number 4.
We don't have a number 4.
That's Amber. That's Amber.
Yeah, it's Amber. We'll come back to Amber. Amber, Azalea is. I will tell you now. Someone who checks the tablet will see that Azalea is coming back
to the moon, right?
No, she's heading back to the town. She's heading back to the city, and she's linked in with Riptide and the Silver Hook. So she's safe. You know, she's fine.
Okay, good.
You know, she sent you a she's managed to get an Uber. She's fine.
Yeah.
So Cerulean Wolf, you rolled a 6. Let's go to you first. As you are you like trying to hide where you're going so you're not being followed, or?
Well, I would. It's the first time in a while that I have left the city and come back, so I think I'd be somewhat aware of looking at things. You know, any people who seem to be taking a too close a look, or once I get closer, I'd be hiding a little bit, but just like not really hiding, but just not drawing attention. Just,
try not to draw attention. So your arrival, Laffy made more of an impact than you did. Like, people coming into the ports isn't super unusual. People like careening past the ports at like 30-40 mile an hour does cause a few raised eyebrows, but we're not talking like masses of hysteria. We're talking like people pointing and laughing. So you heading off.
Don't laugh at her.
People who like sailors and portsmen, I don't know what they're.
Take the piss out of it.
Yeah, taking the piss out of her. Like do that thing.
I see one of them do it. I just stare daggers at them for a few seconds,
miming the action she was doing with the with the paddle.
I just whoever that guy is, I just stare at him for a few seconds, like giving him the angry eye.
The angry eye, yeah. But you heading away, and you find the like one of the waterways that you walk under this bridge, and alongside it is this really unappealing looking old rusted metal gate. It's got the logo of the Midnight Hunt very, very subtly placed on the side of it, and that would be like a really good way for you to like slip in and make your way to the Midnight Hunt without drawing any attention, and just basically getting a direct route there. You could like slip through the waterways kind of thing.
Yeah,
be very familiar with doing this. It's well lit. You wouldn't want to do it at night because the light is from the sewer grates, but you can do it no problem.
Yeah, just do that and beeline pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So you get there. You get to the Midnight Hunt. You can get in as you normally would. As you enter the buildings, you start heading down the stairs. You notice there's a lot of activity, a lot of
more than usual.
A little bit more than normal. Not like panic, but like there's a lot of people running about. Like there's like bodkins who have got like. I don't want to say like busy work people, but like the admin staff are running around with like scrolls and bits of paper. There's like a little bit of shouting in the background, and as you're walking through, you see Viridian Swan. She's there. She's yelling. What was it? Oh, nice. Where is it? Sorry.
Wait, tell me who you're thinking of.
1 second. No, I've got the names here.
Okay. I've got the one next to it. Is it
the Crimson Bear? She's yelling at Crimson Bear, and she's like, she says to him, "Bear, I don't give a shit. Just fucking find them." And like slams the door on him, and he like stalks off with this look of absolute thunder on his face.
Can I trip him up as he walks past?
He's like on the other side of the room.
Fuck.
You could like run over and flat foot. But yeah, you slam the door. He does see you as he walks away, and he like glares at you.
Bear, what's happening?
Oh, you will not believe the amount of faff and hassle we've had since you've been out of the way. Tell you what, I don't know what it is you set off when you got out there, but it's been nothing but mither. Nothing but mither. You better go and speak to her and report.
That is my plan.
Yeah. I'm not stopping you.
Have a fucking good day. Gee. I'll just go over to Swan's office.
Yeah, so you
knock on the door.
Yeah. She like
I give like that knock that so she knows it's me.
Yeah, like
Well, because most people would probably say hi, it's me, but
yeah. So you have a special knock, and there's a moment's pause, and like her voice was really strained when she was yelling a minute ago, and you hear like it's kind of like, oh, come in.
I open the door. Go in.
You walk through, and there's Viridian Swan. She's clad not for battle, but definitely in her uniform for activity. She's got this this sword you've seen her with before. This long, it looked kind of like a basic short sword, but like it's made out of glass. She's there. She's got her head in her hands a little bit, and she's wearing this kind of like studded armor / breastplate that seems to be kind of the uniform for the Midnight Hunt. And then she sees you, and like some of the stress and anxiety seems to go. She's like, "Oh, Lorelei, oh, wow, it's such a pleasure to see you back. I can't tell you, I'd actually got a little bit worried. We'd not heard anything from you. Come on, sit down. Sit down.
Okay.
Sit down. Come on. Would you want a drink?
I'm fine.
I'm going to have a drink.
Do that. What's going on?
Oh, I tell you, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's nothing. Nothing you need to concern yourself with too much. Let's get the debrief out of the way first. And she's clearly quite hassled. There's like piles of paper, and a normally like relatively organised office is a bit more chaotic. There's just like piles of paper, and can you make a perception check actually?
I can. Not great.
Yeah, so you can't really see it. It looks kind of like personnel files.
My passive is 15. But
15, yeah. I'll say then you notice the names of like a couple of the people, like the actual proper names of some of the people in the hunt, rather than their like.
I probably know a few of them.
But... Yeah, you catch one or two of them, and you would recognise, let's say, Lilypad Fleetfoot. You recognise that straight away, and then you see good old Hisham's on there as well, and there's like a load of others in there that you don't really recognise, and it's quite a tottering pile. And she goes to this cabinet, takes out this like decanter of brandy, pours herself a glass, looks at the glass, looks at the decanter, takes a big swig out of the decanter, puts the cork back, and then comes back with the glass, sits down, and she pulls out this checklist board, and she looks at it, she goes, "Oh, finally a bit of competence. Hopefully, it's been a rough week. It's been a tough week in the last, however long it's been since you've gone. So there's a couple of things we need to run through now you're back.
Yes.
Obviously, you need to find out about the haunting that we sent you after to investigate, and then there was obviously whatever was causing the delayed responses to the veil. And then between you and me, I'm just interested in how things went with the group. Tell me a little bit about them. But first of all, the haunting in the house. Were there any signs of undead there?
There were a few skeletons. We found the alchemist. He's dead now, twice.
Okay.
Yeah, and as well a few skeletons, but it was in fact some sort of based operations for the chloride path.
When you say that, she kind of like puts her head back and she puts her hand across her eyes. She says, "Chloride path. This is a name. They were quiet for years, and all of a sudden they are the stone in everyone's shoe."
Yeah,
anyway,
they are. Yeah, they have some. Most of them were not. No longer alive. For various reasons.
Killed them?
I tried not to, but the group. Some people are a little bit tenacious. One person who I recall, his name was Ned. He was I think he had some sort of white dragonborn blood within him. More like human, sort of, but had an essence of it. Sort of middle-aged, got dirty blonde brown hair. I would keep an eye out for him because he was the only person who I can recall who got away.
Okay, so they were using the house for.
I'm not sure. It seemed like a base of operations for members. We found some things. They had. Sorry, I'm looking back at my notes. As I'm trying to talk. They had some notes. I actually have some of them here, and I pull out some of the notes. I forgot what room we got it in. It might have been the bedroom. It says next shipment Friday night. Rust kobolds due, and test blood. See if suitable for sacrifice. None leave the cave. Those ones, and then signed the chloride path endures /EN. I'm not sure who that is.
She looks up at the chloride path endures. Jesus Christ! And she flips it over and she sees all the crossed out different names for the gang, and she just shakes her head, scrunches up the note, and just chucks it in the fireplace. Okay, yeah, these guys keep popping up. It may be something we need to keep an eye on.
That is one. There's one thing more. So they were when we were in combat with them. Some of the members were killing rust kobolds.
Okay.
In the moment, but one of them survived and is with one of my good friends. She, she's a druid, so she can protect herself. But I was wondering if we could maybe have some people. I don't want to say just some more guards or something around them.
So the kobolds are druid?
No. My friend is a druid. The kobold's like a.
I see. Okay.
He's
Well,
a little bit dim, but he's nice enough.
okay. Well, if you want, bring them in. Bring them. We can protect them in here. I was actually gonna. The reason I raised an eyebrow when you said Rust kobolds is some of the activity we've heard on the street is they are looking for Rust kobolds for whatever reason it is. They're doing
Well, it must be some sort of sacrifice, as they say in these notes.
Yes. We didn't know that. That's good to know. Well, not good for the kobold if he's just out in the street and doesn't know that. But let's just hope that we find them first. Bring him in. We'll. I
didn't know whether that was appropriate. So
no, it's fine. It's not. You want to know. Okay. But the anything else that you found whilst you were in there? No.
We found. Yes. One other thing. It's less related to all of that, but I pull out the various notes of the alchemist stuff. Like the because I know that Sue, she copied them and I have the originals.
Okay.
So I pull out those notes.
Okay.
Various things on transmutation and philosopher's stones.
Okay, well, beyond me, I'll give these to the nerds.
I'm not sure.
Wonderful. So that's that. Excellent. Good. That's worked out for you. There's potentially another haunted house I'll need you to look at. You've done so well with this one, but tell me quickly about the Veil. What happened there?
I don't know if that's a small conversation. A lot happened there. It was very strange. There were werewolves that could teleport, and there was this. So while we were there, I forgot exactly who it was. One of the party members. They knew that the Veil was created by a meteor some amount of time ago.
Yes.
And it seems that meteor had some sort of otherworldly force embedded inside of it. Which
otherworldly?
Yes.
Interesting. Did it survive your encounter?
I don't think so. It was like this alien hive mind that was taking the form of plants and infecting people. There was a moment where I was under its control. It was like feeding to get stronger off of anything it could.
Oh, sounds well. The main thing is, we'll get a full rundown of that in a moment.
The Veil's a little bit more barren than it was as well. It seems that plant or whatever it was keeping a lot of the crops alive, and after it was destroyed, it seems that most of the crops have started wilting.
Well, I'm sure they'll just have to cross that bridge as and when they come to it. But well done, first and foremost. How was it working with a new group?
It was very stressful.
She nods.
Expensive.
Yes, very stressful. There was multiple moments where I wanted to pull out my hair. But I mean, for the most part, they seem nice.
Well, I think it's been good. I can sense a change, and because of that, I mean, I knew it would be a challenge for you, which is why I put you down for it. I thought, because you've had such a resounding impact on this one, that we'd continue with this and have you be our go-to for taking those tithe groups out into the wild. No. Oh, it's a new shade on you. She seems a little bit taken aback, but not like upset. Kind of like,
surprised.
Okay. Yeah, surprised. Yeah. Okay. No. I thought you said you said friends. It's nice to hear that you've made friends. You've always been very quiet here.
Yeah, I don't think that's changed very much. Well, it's because I think I don't. They don't know very much about all of this. I just gesture around. But I think because of just what I wear and what I do, I think they sort of gravitated towards me as a leader of sorts. It's very stressful. I don't know how you do it.
Well, years and years and years of practice. So, okay, if you're not wanting to take on another group, this particular group of yours, then would you consider them? I say, am I saying that trustworthy, effective?
Most of them.
Most of them. I suppose this rather dim cobalt you mentioned. Yes. Yeah. Well.
No, he's actually very strong.
Well, they often are.
I think he might have got hit in the head, and he's forgotten things.
Well, if you bring them in, we'll have a look. But as I say, watch out. If you do catch up with them, the chloride path, they must endure, is on the hunt for these rust kobolds, and if they catch him, it just seems that they're out to kill them. So yeah, just bring
kill them
in
in the street, or just kill them later on.
So just to give you an example of these guys, they are getting more and more aggressive. They have been, targeting groups in the street. They haven't killed anyone. They've just been causing a lot of mither and then scattering. And because they are masked and cloaked, it's very hard to keep track of who's who. So, and I will say, you mentioned White Dragonborn. Were they all in ice themed?
They had an ice themed staff,
Yes.
which one of she has it. One of my friends.
Well, I mean, spoils of war. But I will say there does seem to be a head for every type of dragon. Red, black, green,
that makes
blue.
sense.
Yes. So just be careful. We don't know a lot about them. They have changed a lot in the last 100 years or so. So when I was a child, I remember my sisters and I encountered a traveling priest of the chloride path who was trying to say that wouldn't it be wonderful if we could overthrow Algad and just have a strong dragon leader to take on Yadrodan, and obviously that never happened, thank goodness, and we're here now in this relative period of calm. If that is their desires and they're out to kill rust kobolds, presumably they must have access to some magics that will elevate.
Yeah, one of them, choice. I think the leader of that sort of sect of them, he was some sort of spellcaster. Annoyingly, I didn't get a chance to interrogate him.
Well, no point crying over spilt milk, but thank you. I'll look forward to your full report. So, before you go, nothing urgent. It can wait a few days, but in the next week or so, there'll be a few missions that are going out, and I've handpicked you to go. If you're not going out with the new Tithe group, and you must go out with she looks down at her notes. Group 13 Blue. If you must go out with them, which is fine. There are a couple of things we'd like to have looked at. I'm not sure if you're aware, but there is an artificer up in the far north of Yadrodan called Malloy.
I've heard of him.
Yes. He's designed some of the weapons.
Someone in the Vale was, I think, an apprentice under him.
Yeah. He was a very famous artificer in the war. Designed a lot of the constructs and some of the weaponry and some of the magic items. Over the last few years has gone a bit strange, has these ideas about magic being a fundamental force that can be replicated and affected in different ways. But it's always been very reliable, but it's gone very quiet recently. He is right up against the blighted lands, though, so it may well be that the undead have managed to get him after 200 years, who knows. We'd like someone to pop in on him. As I said, there's also a report of a ghost within the walls of Havenorel, which is quite unusual. So we need someone to have a look into that. Let's see what else have we got. And she starts flicking through notes. Oh, and you're from Cadinshire. I don't know if you recognise that. Well, Runo Loresta, one of the original founders of the Lifespring Alliance.
I know of him.
Yes. He needs bringing in. There's a large presentation next month. And there's been rumours that he's been targeted by one of the criminal factions in the city. He will be here for
Which faction?
we don't know yet. We just heard a rumor that there was an assassin's bounty on his head. So we'd need him bringing in safely. Why would try to assassinate him? I think he's probably, he's counting down his last Christmases, as it were. But the minds, the criminal minds. But yes, they're all things that can wait. You've earned yourself a little bit of a break. Gather this group of yours, have a conversation with them, see which of these things they'd like to do, and once again, and she comes over and she puts her hand on your shoulder. Well done, on a job well done.
Yes. Thank you.
I wouldn't normally rush you out, but as you can see outside, it's a bit of a mad day.
Is this when I walked past Bear? He said something about since something happened in the Vale,
yes,
stuff's been going strange.
Well, it's not to do with the Vale. It's been all in the city. Do you remember? Well, I suppose it wasn't long ago. Do you remember the Emerald Baxters?
I was going to ask about them. Yeah.
They were the ones who were caught by the chloride path.
Oh. Okay.
Yes. So we're just trying to find out how they were found, and why. And it's all a bit chaotic at the moment because we thought we had them squirreled away quite well. And she said,
who would know where they were?
Exactly. It's
we
don't know.
I mean, I didn't know where they were put up
exactly.
After that.
It's rather. But anyway, this is why I'm going through. It's all this paperwork at the moment, trying to find out where they were, because even I didn't know where they were, and trying to figure out who could have possibly found them, whether scrying would have got them, or whether it was just sheer dumb luck. But yes, I must get on. So. Anything else you wish to put in your report? Submit it to the normal files, but I say well done. And if that plant did survive, or any part of it did survive, if you give it to the
there might be a petal or two, but I'm not sure.
Well, I'm sure that the artificers would relish the chance to get their grubby little hands on it. So
yes. Okay.
She kind of like ushers you to the door.
I don't know what to do. Okay. I guess I'll just head home for a bit after I meet up with you.
Oh well, very well. So I shall see you in a few days, Cerulean Wolf, and enjoy your rest. And she closes the door. As you are walking up the stairs and kind of out from this hubbub, you're coming across the the training grounds. You feel this blade touch your back, and you hear the words, "You thought I wouldn't be able to sneak up on you," but we'll cut over to Kudo. And Kudo, you have been left alone in the city. Well, not alone. You're with Lou. What would you like to do?
I would like to go to the temple I have heard about.
So you head over to the temple. There's a district. This is probably the biggest temple area you've seen ever, really. I mean, you were in Havenorel 2 weeks ago. I didn't know if you've been here much before. Your temple, where you're from, is a lost temple in the woods. It's overgrown. It's majestic, but it's very much a lost temple. But in the city, they're all meticulously maintained, and it's overwhelmingly grandiose. So all the different gods, there's a different temple for every aspect of every god. And presumably, you're heading to the Temple of the Moon.
Yes.
Wonderful. So the Temple of the Moon is this. It's made out of like marble and onyx, and so there's this real contrast of black and white. And as you walk in, it kind of takes your eyes a moment to adjust to this weird monochrome, black and white sheen as these colourful people are walking around, and it's very quiet. It's not like a one of the least visited temples, but it is a little bit quieter than some of the others. Outside some of the other temples, there seems to be like either speeches going on or people trying to convince followers to join other gods, and it's more of a marketplace, where this one is a little bit more like a library, a little bit more reflective, people walking around talking in hushed voices, bowing, and it's more temple-y than the other one seemed to be.
Yes, if I could, I would like to look for a quieter corner of the temple and start a prayer to Balestina.
So there are these little little cubby holes in the walls where you can like have a private moment. It's not a huge space, but you're quite a little creature, so you can very easily find a place. So you can either be like protected by a curtain or in a corner with a view of this beautiful marble statue that above it is currently like bathed in sunlight, but presumably in the night it's bathed in bathed in moon and starlight, and it would be quite beautiful at night.
Well, I guess there's sunlight and moonlight is secondhand sunlight, so
yeah, true.
I guess it has to do.
Okay.
Also, since we are not here during the night yet.
Well, you're not going anywhere. Your expectation is you should be staying here, but you know, it's just the temple itself is very beautiful, very, very ostentatious. Like, you know, you're almost taken aback with how grand it is. It's much bigger. This one temple, this one room of this temple, is bigger than some of the homes you saw in. Like just one room of this large temple area is bigger than some of the homes you saw in the Lupin Vale, and probably like this whole one temple would be bigger than your whole village at home.
Well, is it like unusual for the temples or other temples for big?
No, this is like, it seems to be pretty normal. It's just that, like, if you can imagine, the whole temple is built around this huge marble statue of the goddess of the moon. It's monstrously big. It's absolutely huge. And these little cubby holes, you go into it and you've got like a view of this statue, like this centerpiece for your faith, and you can have this private moment, or you can have an area where more like 40-50 people could be in a room together. So there's all these different spaces, and as you look around, there's tiers around them, so like, you know, first, second, third, fourth and fifth floors surrounding this huge statue. So it's like worship for the masses. Like, really, it's been designed with lots of people in mind.
Well, I will go for one of the little cubbies, or what you call them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And in my prayer, first of all, I will thank her for the opportunities Balestina has given me.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, if she could help me with, first of all, what to do if I, how I can help the land with the undead infestation, and second of all, if she could tell me anything about this consumer thingy, whatever it was.
Yeah. Can you roll a religion check, please?
Yes, because I'm always so great at those.
Remember, you start with advantage, you got hero points.
Religion. Where the fuck is our there? Let's do advantage.
Yeah.
Damn it.
A 6. So you sit there, and maybe this is something you need to do at night, because you're getting nothing. Even your sword is no longer pulsing, and you sit there for a good 20 minutes, like praying, asking these questions. You're waiting for something. Are you talking out loud as you pray, or is it all in your head?
Maybe just a little whisper, but
a little whisper.
Yes, but nothing loud. Anyone should really be able to hear.
Yeah. So,
except like they were just crouching up to me. Yes, tell me more.
Yeah. So as you finish, you've heard nothing back, and a little bit despondent, you probably sit back down. And there's this little from outside of the curtained area that you find yourself in.
I will open the curtain.
And there's this young girl there. She is in the robes of like priestess robes with the symbol of the moon goddess on her. And she goes, apologies, I heard you asking there about what you could do. And I was just reminded, it touched me, reminded about how, we're all put here for a reason. But what was it you were asking our dear Balestina for, my friend?
In general, guidance.
Guidance to do
Why? May I ask why you're asking?
Well, much like yourself, if you don't mind, I'm saying what we do here is we help those who to direct their faith, and if you feel that your prayers aren't being answered by the goddess herself, then maybe an acolyte of hers, like myself, could give you some direction, perhaps.
Wait, help. I am not 100% sure what an acolyte is. Let me use Google. Thanks.
That's just like a priest.
Yeah, it's like a priest, yeah.
So I was looking for guidance in kind of a mission that I took on for her. I don't know how. Yes.
One of the chosen illuminated. Wonderful.
I'm not sure that's what I would call it.
Well, if her light has illuminated you and empowered you in any way, then that's what you would be. You would be illuminated by her grace. I see the sword you carry. It carries her marks. Is this a creation of your own, or is this something that was gifted to you by the Moon Goddess?
I found it.
You found it. Wonderful. And
yes, it was really nothing someone else could have lost that, or at least someone that would want it back during their lifetime.
Well, do you believe in accidents in a world with the divine in it? In a world where the divine can reach down and touch the very earth itself? Do you believe in accidents?
Well, there are definitely accidents. I'm not sure if this is one.
Well, is there such a thing as an accident? If it brings you to a place where you need to be, then is it an accident or is it happenstance?
It could also be a happy accident.
Well, no, I mean, perhaps it is fate. It is fate interceding in the way. If Bellastina meant you to have one of her blessed weapons, and for you to go out there and do what you can, then, well, who are we to question it? The mission you found yourself on, what was it to do, may I ask? Hello?
Yes, I'm thinking.
Sorry, I can't see you see. I thought maybe we'd lost you. I thought maybe the celestial Wi-Fi had broken.
No, my
celestial...
I thought Fantasy Discord had disconnected us.
Yeah, she takes you, or not takes you by the arm. She gently touches you on your arm, and she leads you out of the area you were in, and she starts weaving you through one of the other areas of worship with all these pictures on the walls, and there are these various figures and symbols and like stories of the Moon Goddess's story that are woven into these tapestries on the wall, and she starts like pointing them out. She goes, "Oh, here we have Ganymede. She was one who was touched by the Moon Goddess herself, and she was sent here. And we say about whether or not there are accidents. Her time on this earth was blighted with misfortune, yet when it came time for it, the Moon Goddess blessed her, and all the lessons she had learned on her way, it empowered her to make the right decisions so she could overthrow the foul hobgoblins that had taken over her village hostage." And she kind of gestures to this picture of this warrior woman in this heavy armor, carrying this mace that looked like it's a sickle moon, and there's like these illustrations of power just beaming off it, hitting these really horrific representations of, and like in this day and age would be considered like vaguely racist, like depictions of hobgoblins. And she goes, and also like during the wars against the Liches, Bellastina touched many lives here, and whilst there were many that were killed in the wars, together we were able to form closer alliances that touched both Algadane and Yadradan, and could that be considered an accident? Perhaps her chosen few were placed on this earth to empower those around them. So maybe you've been given this chance, and it's less about following Bellastina's wishes and following your heart, because you've been chosen by her.
Yes, that may well be, but still I have some questions.
Well, if you do wish to speak to Bellastina herself, and she is not hearing you now, it may be a question to ask during the night when her power is at its zenith.
That would be a smart idea, so I may as well come back, but I was in their area, so I thought,
No,
why not try now?
But we talk about happy accidents. Had it been you two, it had left you, perhaps you would have been asking at the wrong time forever, and this was a fated encounter, perhaps. Maybe, maybe not. I like to think that maybe we are all, yeah, we are all mosaics in the, and every time we touch another person's life, they are enlightened by our presence. But yes, do return at night, or anytime you see the moon directly. If you are one of Bellastina's chosen, you don't need to come here. This is a place set up for those who can't reach her directly. If you are out in the wilds or you have one of her weapons, just wait until her rays bathe in you, and perhaps you'll find success there.
Thank you. I will try that. May I ask one more question to you?
Yes.
You
As long as
said
it isn't my name.
Sorry?
So long as it isn't my name. Because I don't have one.
Yes, I would like your name, your mother's maiden name, your first pet's name,
Social
and
security
What you
number.
look like, yeah.
and the 3 numbers on the back of your credit card.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Anything I can do to help. My short furry friend.
Your social security number?
Yes. You said there were a lot of chosen ones during the Lich War.
Well, a lot is a push. I'm not sure if you're how familiar you are with some of the stories, but rumor that the story that I like to believe is that Bellastina's the aspect she sent down children or fighters or warriors or mages of great power to us in times of great need, and the last time that we know it happened was in the Lich War, and we know that we're not sure what happened to her, but she was able to pull these wonderfully powerful people towards her, the illuminated few, the illuminated 12 they were, and between them they were able to fight back against the Liches in ways that no one else had ever seen. And before that there were stories dating back for hundreds of years about her chosen few.
Yes. Do you know of any chosen ones that were to save the northeastern forests? Wait, let me look. Give me a second. I read it a second ago and I couldn't remember shit. What race was the guy?
Well, the
James.
So the forest to the west, there was a story of one of Bellastina's chosen, a sorceress,
A mage, I
believe.
think.
Yes, a sorceress called Rhea. And the story that I was told was that she was in this group. There were a few of them, and they arrived in the forest to help the Tanuki as their land was being overrun by a brigand band, and they released the blight to poison.
Wait, can I make one roll at this point?
Yeah, sure.
I want to know if she knows if I am a Tanuki.
I mean,
like she can make the connection, or if that.
Okay, I see, like an insight roll.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you smell like a Tanuki?
Would she know if I smell like a Tanuki?
I mean, so
has she
the
ever seen
Tanukis are like almost myths, really. Perhaps she thinks you're some weird tabaxi, like weird short tabaxi. I don't think she quite knows what she's looking at. And she tells you the story about this sorceress called Rhea. Was that the name I gave you? 1 second. I'm just going to.
No, it was Amanda.
Or was it not? Oh, hang on 1 second. Oh no, I'm looking in my DMs, and that's not where it was. I should have written this down somewhere else, because now I've got to go scrolling for it like a jackass. Okay, sure. Oh yeah, Miranda. That was it, Miranda. So yes, there was one of the illuminated few. One of these daughters of the star, daughters of the moon. I don't know if you've heard of them, called the Little Sisters. And she came down, and she was traveling with this group of adventurers. There was a man called Berulio, and there was a dragonborn there, and they were set to fight off this blight released by these goblins, this poison that was killing the forest. And whilst the story goes that Miranda sacrificed herself to empower the temple there to fight back the blight, her light went on to shine. But I've never visited that part of the forest. It's only one of the many stories that we've heard here during the during my time here as an acolyte.
You said you have a lot of depictions of these chosen ones. Do you have one of her as well?
Oh, maybe. I think she may well be. Yes, bear with me a moment. She starts walking off, and you follow down, and she's heading down this very long corridor, and there's these pictures on the walls, the like stained glass murals, and she comes to one, and they're all all of these are very severe, sometimes very old looking people, and or like dragonborns and giant kin and stuff like that. And I'm just going to drop this into general. This picture that you come across is this very beautiful stained glass window of this quite sad but very beautiful looking elven woman with like very, very light hair and very piercing purple eyes. Looks a lot like a certain druid lady, And she says, "Here, this is Miranda."
Okay. That's murmuring to myself. That's very interesting. Thank you very much for showing me.
Not a problem. As I say, no more happy accidents. It's all fated. Here, and she reaches into her pocket and she gives you a little sticker.
What kind of what?
And a lollipop.
Yeah, it's like a moon sticker. And
Thank you.
If Kudos scratches the sticker, does it smell like strawberries?
No, it smells like cheese. A moon sticker. No, it's just, 10th time here. Your prayer is free. No.
Same. This is canon. This sticker
No, she
smells
gives you a little, like
cheese.
a little back, like a little, not a, like a pin, like a little moon pin. She gives you a little moon pin.
Does the moon pin still smell like cheese?
I mean, it might be her fingers. I don't know.
Oh.
Or yours.
Or yours, yeah. I don't know what's
Bah.
you left.
I will put the pin. No. I'm not sure what to do with the pin yet.
But she toddles off and goes to deal with somebody else.
Yes. I don't know what I can do since
You don't have to do anything else if you don't want. We can cut over to Lou whilst you think about it if you like.
Yes, that would be great.
Okay, no problem. Lou Marblecut, you are stood. Cerulean Wolf has gone off, snuck off somewhere. The Kudo has gone off to the temple area, and you're left kind of with a pocket full of gold and a spring in your step of the town of Havenorel. What are you going to do?
I think I'm going to be visiting familiar divination sorcerers.
Yes, Olivia. You're going to be going to visit Olivia, presumably, which is grand. Let me just see if I can find it. Olivia Hall. Hill, her name is. Olivia Hill. So you head into her house, and as you go, you speak the language of the thieves' cant, and usually that's to identify places that are safe and aren't safe to try and burgle. Like, this place does not have a dog, the guy here, but they never have any money, don't bother. This place has loads of money, but it's dangerous because they've like got spells or like protection and stuff like that. As you're walking through, you start seeing stuff that would indicate that there is a job on offer, like a well-paying job, but making references to a criminal sect that you're not overtly familiar with.
That's worrying. So I can make the assumption that this part of town is controlled by this group.
Yeah, I mean, you're not super familiar with this city anyway. You kind of know it a little bit. You spent a little bit of time here, but you're not like you're not as familiar with it here as you are as a town that you came from, obviously. But you very quickly find your way to Olivia's house.
I would. Hello?
Oh, I thought you'd be here around now. The crystal ball does tell all. Come in, dear. Come in.
Yeah, I assume you saw me coming.
Well, I asked the crystal ball whether or not it would be worthwhile to nip out for half an hour, and it said no. So I thought someone would be here, and the only person I could think who may be visiting was yourself. So it was a little bit of educated guess, you may say. Sit down. Would you like a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, water? I don't have much else, I'm afraid, apart from brandy.
I would like some tea.
Tea. Very well. Sit down. Sit down. It's been a little while since we've seen you, as she says with her back to you, as she's pouring this very ornate pot of tea into these very small and very fine china mugs, and she drops a lemon in each cup, and she turns around, hands them to you, and she starts, waits for it to cool down, blows on it, and has a little sip. She goes, how was your journey? Worthwhile, I take it?
It paid well.
Excellent. Would you care to hear about a little job that I've heard of through the grapevine?
Well, depends on the pay.
1,000 gold pieces.
Consider me interested.
I thought so. I thought when I heard about it, I'm not sure on the job itself, but I will say that the rumblings have been coming up from the ground for the last week or so. I'm not sure if you're aware, you've not been from the area. Have you heard of the Black Rock Tally?
The Black Rock Tally?
Yes, they're one of the major factions, one of the major powers in the town. They own the area, though they leave me be, thank goodness. Luckily for them, I occasionally do a little bit of work for them here and there, but they are after a small team who are quick, quiet, discreet, and light-fingered. There has been something taken from them, apparently, and they would very much like it back. But other than that, they're all the details I know.
Interesting.
I thought as
I
well.
will take on any job except for getting rid of people.
Well, assassinations aren't really my cup of tea. From what I understand, this is a simple reclamation of a stolen artifact, though what that artifact is and what it entails, I don't know. But I will say I've also heard some questions being asked by a certain wizard that we both know, asking after one of his daughters, who he thought may have arrived in town. However, when he asked the question, since you weren't in town, I could quite honestly say that we'd not there'd been no sight or sound of you. But I would be wary, dear girl. There is clearly he is interested in where you have gone. Perhaps there's something you've taken from him, and may have piqued his wrath.
We both know that thing can't go back to him.
Well, I'm not. What I don't know, I can't repeat, so I won't ask you anymore. However, I will say this: he did seem very insistent. But since you weren't here at the time, the assumption was that you were coming here, or had not come here at all. And I tried to plant in his mind the idea that you would not be foolish enough to come to the one place, the center of this great continent, where you could perhaps lose yourself in the swirl. I tried to place it in his mind that you went further south to hide amongst the dragonkin down in Algadane, but whether or not he bought it is another question. I know Leia was with him. She seemed very eager to find you as well. Whether that is for her own means or for his, I don't know. But it would be rest assured, I will not be telling him anything anymore. I've tried to cut ties. There's been rumors of his behavior that have reached me, and that gives me adequate excuse to cut my ties from him. Summoning creatures, foul beasts, looking into some of the lost arts. We don't want any of that now, do we?
We do not. I need you to do me a favor.
Of course.
I do have money if you require that.
It will cost you a whole 5 copper, she says with a grin.
I put the 5 copper down. Well, I would like to have some eyes on this wizard, and a warning should he come close to finding,
well, I can definitely I can definitely keep an eye on him. He's not a hard man to track, and if he does arise in Havenorel, there may be something I can do. Do you have something precious to you that he has also handled, for lack of a better word, something he's touched or engaged with in the past that isn't, well, you know?
Lou is going to, like, more out of habit more than anything, like, slightly glance towards the entrance around, take a deep breath, and slowly take out a small normal dagger with basically cracked pattern of blackness on it.
Yes, wonderful. Now, bear with me one moment. She's going to take your 5 copper and she's going to hold them in her hand, and in her other hand she's going to pick up her this glass orb that functions as a crystal ball, and she focuses her power onto the crystal ball and into this copper, and the copper coins melt and they turn into this long pin which casts down, and it sinks into the blade. And she goes, "Now, keep this knife on you, my dear. If I do hear of William's arrival in Havenorel, this will alert you. It will alert you silently. You'll be the only one to hear it, but it will only be when William himself arrives. He's the only one who can be easily tracked, I'm afraid. Whether it's Leia or whether it's one of his creatures that he's summoned, just beware. I do know that I'm not the only one he's asking, so it may be fortuitous of you to perhaps engage a pseudonym, a nom de plume, if you will."
I will heed your advice.
Excellent. So, I am expecting another visitor momentarily, but before I must ask you to leave, may I ask, I've seen that you've been very busy on your way out there, and whilst you say you don't want to kill anyone, there is a certain smell around you, not a smell, rather, an aura around you, permeating of heaviness and, dare I say, death. Are you still removing those who would place themselves in your way?
Not if I can help it.
That's all I can ask. This copper shouldn't affect the blade at all, though it may make it a little bit sharper and less easily damaged. Though your oh Jesus, that's thunder there, Christ. Your weapon shouldn't be affected by it, and it shouldn't be detected by magic. It is less magic in of itself and more in its delivery. It's part of the spell message. So you should be fine. But do take care, my dear. Do take great care. And I look forward to seeing you again next time in 2 months, I think, the next time we shall meet, if the crystal ball speaks well. So I must bid you adieu.
Bye.
Go there tomorrow, just to fuck with it.
And thank you for your services. And Lou is going to drop out a small leather pouch on the table containing gems worth 50 silver in total.
Ooh, excellent, excellent. I knew there was a good reason for me to hang about. And she takes out one of the nicest, like the largest, this blue gem, and she holds it near to a wand, and she places the wand at the edge of the gem and then focuses and pushes through, and it's like she's squeezing the gem into the wand, and it's like when you squeeze through, and then the wand has got these wavy blue lines like waves you'd see on the ocean, and she points it up, and like the tea in your glass swirls up, and then like swirls up into this. It's like a really good representation of the flowers that you were fighting up in the Lupin Vale, except it's made of tea, and then it freezes. And she goes, "Yes, that'll do quite nicely. Thank you very much."
Lou is going to grab the tea, the cup, open her water skin, pour the tea into the water skin, and it's going to leave.
So it's got
Thank you
tea
very much.
and sambuca and water.
Some things never change.
Yeah. But yeah,
That is
so
not going to mix well.
It's going to be horrible.
It's going to be horrid, yeah.
It's going to be
iced
amazing.
tea. Iced
Yeah,
tea,
but is there milk in the tea?
No.
No,
They
Alright,
don't
that's
put
fine
milk
then.
in tea.
Yeah.
Who do you think I am? British?
yeah, they don't have any. Yeah, they don't have cows nearby. It'd have to be like rat milk or something, and it's really.
Oh,
So,
almond milk.
last but not least, Laffy, you were saved from going arse over tit into a river by the smiling and eager face of Sissy. She grabs you by the hand. Rusty almost fell in, but he grabbed your foot. This woman's got some proper bear strength. She lifts you up and she swings you around. She places you in this little, almost invisible cubby hole. And like she's got this big grin on her face as you turn around and wave off Cerulean Wolf and Kudo and Lou. And she goes, "Oh, watch ya. How have you been? It's been a hot minute."
I'm just gonna like, in a sense of like, I haven't learnt my lesson from the last time I hugged her. I'm just gonna throw my arms around her and give her a big hug.
No, I remember this. Yes. And she like gingerly pats you on the shoulder. Yep. Who's your little friend?
Oh my god, this is Rusty. Rusty, say hi.
Hi. Oh, isn't he a doll? And she kind of
He's
gets
so
down.
cute.
He gets down on her haunches and she like pulls his face. What's your passive perception?
Oh god. I think it's 14. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 14.
14. I don't know. Maybe he's growing up really quick. Rusty looks a little bit taller.
Oh no.
Only not like a lot. Like
Rusty's going to be 6 foot by the
He's
end
gonna
of
be
the
taller
campaign.
than me.
As if he was like wearing
Wait, how
heels.
tall is he now?
so at the minute he's about this. He's small. He's like
So it's
like
like
3.5 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, and he looks like you look down and he's got like plate armor on, and there's like 2 inches of like ankle showing that weren't there before.
Oh, he's gonna have a teenage face.
But it's the same. Like all the features are the same. Just looks like a little bit taller.
Oh my god, if you give Rusty like an angsty teenage face, I'm gonna laugh
I'm gonna
so
give him
hard.
I'm gonna give him zits.
Oh my
no.
god.
Yeah.
No,
But like
we're
she like
dead. Every single one of us is doomed.
But like it's like acid because he's like
Oh
a cobra.
no.
she gets down on a like in her haunches and she starts like you know she pats him, she grabs his cheek, and then she starts scratching him behind the ear, and like one of his
Aw.
feet starts going, and then he's really happy and she goes, come in, let's get out of the cold. I got the fire on. I've not got any food to offer you, I'm afraid, but I've got these. And she reaches up into like this mossy area and she pulls down these really juicy looking purple berries, and it's not the purple that you saw whilst you were out in the Vale.
Okay,
This is
good.
like,
I was
like
about to ask.
like more of a blueberry purple, and
Ooh.
it's not uniform. It's just imagine a blueberry that's the size of an apple, and it looks
Oh,
like they look
wow.
firm and juicy. And she like gets one, she bites into it, and it's kind of like it's almost like a plum actually. It's almost like
Yeah.
a plum. And she bites into it, and she wipes her face. She goes, "Oh, yeah, they're really good today."
I'll just eat the one she gave me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a good berry, and it's like it fills you up like to the max. Like you feel like that's all I want to eat today. You don't feel sluggish. You're like, oh, that was like eating 3 eggs. Like that's all the calories I need today. I feel
Yeah.
refreshed. I even feel 1 hit point healed. Like, and she goes, yeah, these are just good berries. Have you not seen these before?
Like with a mouthful, I'm just gonna shake my head and go, mm-mm.
Oh, well, I mean, I can tell, I can feel, I can sense that you've got a bit stronger, which is great. you need to have a think about your spells. She kind of like digs around and she pulls out this like it looks like a wand, but on close inspection's just a branch. So it's got these two little leaves on it. She hands it. She goes, "Well, that's some mistletoe." And there's this spell. This like you cast this spell every day called Goodberry. You don't need to worry about food anymore. Like you can grow 10 berries and people will just eat them.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's called Goodberry. It's really good. I can say I can feel like your aura's like grown. It's amazing. It's amazing. What happened? Where have you been?
Well, and then I'm just gonna like find somewhere to sit and like sit down and just sort of like look around the room. Like I don't even know where to start. So the group that I was with, I think you saw a few of them last time.
Oh, the girls on the other side of the river and that weird dog.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we went to a house because
Lovely.
somebody thought there was a ghost.
Oh,
Yeah,
was there?
well, not really. It was just there was a lot of weird people in there, and there was this really awful guy called Ned, and it really annoyed me because I wanted to help him. I ended up falling through a floor, which hurt. But then he just turned out to be not very nice.
Oh, well, falling through the floor is better than falling in love with someone who doesn't treat you right. I think that really hurts. Those hazards of love will really catch you in the end. But I mean, as long as you're okay.
Just like wide-eyed, like, huh?
Oh no, I was just saying, like I met this guy and his name was Ned too, and he promised the world. He promised me like the moon on a stick. He wrote me poetry. He brought me flowers, and then all of a sudden one day I found out that he was interested in my sister, and so never again. Swore off completely. It's not and I'm not saying everyone's like that, but that really hurt. But no, I found my animals. I live a very full life now, in my little cave. Now I say it out loud, sounds quite sad, but it isn't. I really enjoy it. But it's meeting people like you and like dealing with the city is what I love now. But I know people who've been married for years as well. It's just, you said you met someone in there. It happens very fast. But yeah, so tell me about any new magic you've seen, because I don't get out of the city anymore.
Laffy's still gonna be like thinking over what she's just said about this Ned treating her great, and then all of a sudden, and she's gonna be like, magic. Well, I did something really cool actually. We were fighting a bunch of werewolves, and I cast something called Moonbeam.
Ooh, yeah, I know Moonbeam. That's a great spell.
It was really fun. I felt
really good if you're in a fight.
Yeah, I felt really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. I thought there was more to know, but that's great. So
well, I've learned a lot of things. It's just I don't know. I think I'm just a bit overwhelmed. We've had a really long trip, and then obviously I got split up from everybody, and I don't know. Things are just moving really quickly.
Yeah. No, I know they will do. And I think I was going to say, like, obviously you've had time to practice your magics, and you can see your little aura. So do you know about like the spells you can just cast, right? Like the ones that don't take the effort. They call them the cantrips,
Yeah.
Okay. So have you been practicing them?
Yeah, some of them. Druidcraft, that's the one that you taught me.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I've used that a few times.
Yeah. Well, if you've got one that I know it doesn't come up very often, but if you need to cast one that hurts people, can you do that?
Yes.
Can you show me? Not on me or on Rusty. And she goes and she gets like she piles up some crap and puts a hat on it. And she goes, let's call that Ned. And I want you to cast a spell on it. He's got this like really like
perfect replica.
Yeah, it's really like such a sneaky grin on the face.
Oh, I nailed it as well.
Okay, yeah. So she was that the D20? No, you rolled a 6. What the hell is that?
Wait, what?
Is that the damage or is that the attack?
That's the attack, I think.
Oh yeah. Well,
why is it a crit then?
that's
I don't
weird.
know. That is weird.
That is
Wait,
weird.
just roll anything again.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's crit because the thing is named Net.
Yeah. Just roll to.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. So you do this primal savagery attack, and how does that look when Laffy does it? What happens to her?
So completely out of character, you would just see that her fingernails would like sharpen and her teeth would sharpen, and she'd look really mad as she just like went ham on whatever it was that she was, hitting, and just like slashed with her like nails.
And she goes, I can see you've been practicing, but let me just tell you, you're going into it with full of emotion, but you need to take a step back and think about things in a little bit more of a clinical way, because once you access that power, you can empower yourself even more. And Cecilia shows you the same thing, but the claw, like she casts the same spell, and her teeth, like her whole mouth fills with like razor sharp wolf teeth, like almost like a shark's mouth. It's like much more pronounced, and the claws on her hands are like 6 inches long, and they're dripping with poison. And she slashes at this thing, that tears it in half. And she was like, she says like, just try it again, try it again, and see what happens.
Okay, so I do what she showed me.
Yeah,
it's gonna be worse. Yes.
It doesn't matter. Don't worry. It's not about the attack. You scratch into it, and you feel that like. Now she's told you to like approach it in a slightly different way.
Calm down a little bit. Yeah.
Calm down a little bit, less emotional, but like you can still use your emotions to like feed it. You feel that if you were to practice just a little bit, for like a day or two, you could make your attacks like twice as strong as they are at the minute.
Okay.
And so she says, just practice. And when you get stronger, you practice on these things, you're going to learn other spells and more powerful spells. So you've had a thought about what you're going to do to get at, what spells you're going to try to learn, or what spells because I can tell you some of the really cool spells you'll be able to know. And then every day you can pick a new one. My favorite one, if people around here are pissing me off, and she leans forward and whispers to you, I cast Call Lightning. And I make things really awkward for people, but not often. It's only when I'm having a really bad day.
Yeah.
But there's other spells as well. Like, I remember once hearing that before the war with the Liches, people used to be able to bring people back from the dead.
Really?
Yeah. There's all sorts of things you can do the stronger you get. So it's an awesome thing. But I mean, I saw you waving to your pals and your friends. Do you need to meet up with them again?
I probably should. They might be a little bit worried about me.
Okay. Well, I can take you to them.
Yeah, I'm not the best with directions and things.
No, don't worry. I'll be going that way anyway. And she leads you out of the area, and she's talking to you about all like the different spells you can cast, and she's giving you like pointers about which ones for different things. She teaches you how to cast Goodberry, which is a way you can literally feed the entire party, and every time they eat a Goodberry, they get back 1 health. So it's like a really good way to heal people. But it's not brilliant, but like it's effective, and you cast it and they last all day.
Yeah.
And then there's other things she does. She tells you about like the more powerful spells, and she starts walking through, and then she leads you around these it's like a rabbit warren. You completely lose track of where she's leading you, but she's not even looking where she's going. She knows it like the back of her hand, and he's running to keep up with his stubby little legs, clanking behind you. And then finally you come out from this, like everything's really dank and dirty, and you turn a corner and you're in this stunningly beautiful courtyard that's filled with like light and trees, and it's completely unlike the rest of the city. It's very, very quiet and serene here, and there's this beautiful fountain in the middle of this courtyard with these 12 figures like stood around this arc of water, and they're all doing these really heroic poses, and it's like all different races and all different like types, and they're like warriors and mages and stuff, and they're all individually identifiable. They're all like very well carved. And she says, I'll leave you here, but if you want to get to presumably you would have told her you were going to the Tears of the Moon, that place you knew. And she says, it's just down there. I've got to get back to make sure that nothing goes on down there, keep an eye on the animals and stuff, but keep me up to date. But is there anything you wanted to know? Any other druidy things I could tell you whilst you've got me?
I don't know. I mean, the one thing I like to make sure that everyone's okay, but I feel like sometimes my healing isn't quite up to scratch.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things you can do. So, I mean, if you really want to put your heart and soul into it, you could, like. So I know. So say if I was hurt, what would you do? What would be the way you wanted to try and heal me? Because there's different ways of healing people. There's casting spells. There's giving them potions. There's good breeze. There's all different things you can do. What was it you liked to do to help? What was it you do to help people?
I mean, I usually just cast Cure Wounds. That
Yeah,
seems
that's a
to
good
do
one.
the job, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the wiser you get, the more powerful that'll become. I mean, there's some books I could maybe point you towards that you could read over the next couple of days, and that maybe give you an idea of how your healing could become more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and she rootles through her bag and she hands you this it's like newspaper clippings, and she hands it over to you, and she goes, just have a read through that, and that what that might do is give you a couple of ideas of other ways to heal people or to make your spells more powerful. But just give us a shout whenever you're free. I'm always around. It's always easy to find me. Just as they say, just follow the smell. And she kind of looks like a little bit manic when she says that. And she goes, but yeah, I've got to shoot, but there's the bar right now. And and she points out, and it's like one of the other party members who kind of headed back that way. But yeah, who is stabbing Cerulean Wolf? So Wolf, what you feel is this like cold blade on your back, but it's not the point of the blade, and it's not the edge of the blade. It's the flat of the blade, and you look down and touch, and there's this dripping red paint that's been slapped on your back, and it's really embarrassing. And Viper's there, and she's like hopping from foot to foot, holding this knife with this proper annoying grin on her face, like like that. And she goes, "Tag, you're it," and she dashes off.
I don't want to chase her.
I mean, you know, if she turns around and she's like, "What's the matter, Wolfie Tuzla?"
No, I just honestly don't want to.
She's like, she slows down a little bit. She's jogging from foot to foot, and she goes, "Oh, why not? Why not? Come on, it used to be fun. I remember when you were cool."
Well, I've just been on a mission for the last 2 weeks, so pardon me if I'm not in tip-top shape.
Okay. Come on then. Tell me all about it. Tell the Ivory Viper all about it. And she kind of like intercepts where you're going and like links your arm and starts walking you towards like the training area, where she pulls out this handful of 5 daggers or darts, and she starts whipping them backhanded at these targets, and just unerringly like bullseye.
You don't have to show off in front of me, you know that.
I'm not showing off. I'm just keeping my eye in. Bullseye. And she's like, ha, 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 ha.
Oh,
like
I hate her.
No, and she's not really showing off, but she's like trying to get a rise out of you a little bit. Like, come on then, let's see what you've learned. Come on.
So I have to.
Well, you don't have to, but come on. I just want to see whether this fabled trip into the wilds is worthwhile. I mean, apparently we're all up for it. Eventually, taking out groups of infants out into the wilds. I just want to know if you've come back better than you went out.
Yeah. Well, I've had a long day, but I'll do my best. And I just stand up and pull out the 2. I do it very casually, but as I look at her, and you know, like how in westerns they just quickly pull out the guns and shoot.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do that.
Okay. I'm not gonna make you roll. I will let you choose what happens.
Okay. Well, I think what happens is I pull them both out and fire them both, and one of them is on the ring outside the bullseye, and another one is on her board hitting the bullseye.
Okay, nice. She goes, "Nice to see you've not lost your eye. It's been I don't know if Swan said anything. It's just been a pretty busy couple of weeks." As she kind of does this weird handstand into a throw, and it's not quite the bullseye this time. She's actually testing herself now, trying to throw it from unusual positions. So doing a cartwheel and throwing it midway. And you've seen this before. This is classic her training, as back flipping into a throw. And her aim's a little bit off now, but she's clearly trying to get it. She's trying her hardest now, and it's not a competition. It's just this is how she communicates, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And she's doing the handstand into it, chuck, and she just gets it on the outer rim. She's like, And she does it again, and she just gets a little bit closer.
I mean, you'd still hit a person if you did that, so...
Yeah, I know, but, you know, it's red, and it's right there, and I want to get it, and she, like, chucks 3 at the same time, and they all, like, hit. Like, the grouping's fantastic. And she's, like, shaking her head, and she's got the... So she's taken off. She's got, like, a head, like an upper face mask, rather than a mask over her mouth. She's got this, like, hood that pulls up, kind of like a king cobra spread, and she's pulled it down. She's got this like very severe ponytail, like a double layered ponytail that she's got in to keep her hair out of her face, and she's doing that. And she's this half elven girl. She's very pretty. She's got this dark hair, and then she's chucking these, and there's this moment of silence, and she goes, "Thud, you heard about the Emerald Baxters?" Thud.
Yes, I was the one who was on the mission to investigate them, remember?
Yeah, originally, yeah. I didn't know if you'd heard the latest. Thud.
Yeah, Swan mentioned it.
Yes. You know, the weird thing is...
What?
Well, they were... Obviously, you'd brought them in to be protected. And they were attacked in the safe house. Thud.
Sounds like someone within spilt the information.
Jesus says, yeah, so the weird thing was, because they were under protection, they think that the chloride path either got the information from someone here, or one of the hunt is in the path. Thud.
I mean, it wouldn't be. No, it wouldn't be good all, would it? It's not
Good
like
all?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's smart enough to...
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Thud. But, I mean... I'd not heard of the chloride path before. Thud.
Oh, really?
But, well, I don't know. It's not my sphere, is it?
I guess I did grow up around that sort of.
Yeah,
area.
it's not my sphere. It's not what I work in. It's just all of a sudden they're everywhere. Like you see them in the streets, and they're bold as brass and brazen. And you know, it's not just this family, and they were kids. They just vanished. We don't know if they're alive or dead. Don't know what's going on. And then there's all this stuff going on, all these rumours about the island. So, and when she talks about the island, she's talking about this place where the White Bloods, these sorcerers who are born like infused with the Lich powers, are sent. It's this island off to the east, which is like a prison, or more like a place that they keep these people until they decide what to do with them. She's and I heard like that someone on the island, one of the White Bloods, has taken over and claimed it as their own, like a sovereign land. Thud. And this is all in the last couple of weeks. It's just a lot going on. It's a lot to keep up with, and we're all. To be honest, Wolf, I was worried, you know, when we didn't hear anything from you, because we thought you'd be out for like a week or so, and then it was 2 weeks, and then there was all this stuff about the chloride path, and all these rumours in the city, you know, that they'd fought one of the Midnight Hunt, and some of them had escaped, and we didn't know if that was you or what. And,
well, it was us. It was interesting. It was when we were investigating the alchemist house over the city nearby.
Well, just keep an eye ear to the ground, yeah, because some of them are idiots, but if there's one of them in the hunt, then that means at least one of them's dangerous.
Yes, I will be keeping an eye out. It takes me a long time to trust anyone.
No. Well, glad to see you've kept your eye in anyway. That paint will dry on and it will stain. I'm not sorry about it. So I shall see you in a few days.
I want to stand up and just like put a hand in my bag in my disguise kit, and I want to put out some glitter.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I just like a firm pound on the shoulder. I'm like, well, this might stay for a while as well. And I was like,
oh, fuck you very much. Okay, well, I was going to be heading out on a stealth mission, but looks like I've got to have a bath, so thanks. Okay, well, I'm going to shoot off, but honestly, truly, Wolf, one eye on your back at all times. If you are going to be looking after these tithe groups, just make sure that the kids you can trust, yeah? If you
don't
can.
worry, I've been watching very carefully the whole time. I don't trust, and I don't know if I think I trust at least one of them.
Well, I'd like to meet that person. Anyway,
I'd
Viper
like for you to meet them
away!
too.
Oh
Okay.
no!
She kind of like tries this new catchphrase, says it, and
Away!
like she like
The glitter ruins the exit.
Yeah.
It's for the light. You can see it.
I hate you so much. As she
I
walks
do
out,
just
slumps
imagine
off.
her like Robin from Batman and Robin, just like away.
She hates it, and she slumps off, and she leaves you to go to the Tears of the Moon.
I look at the board with all the daggers that you throw, and just all like the marks. I'm like, chav. And
Oh yeah, like she's really got her eye in as well. Like if
Yeah.
there had been a competition,
she probably would have won.
yeah, she's been in the hunt a little bit longer than you. She's a
Yeah.
little bit more experienced.
But then sort of thinking about someone like Puppet Trust, I go like, oh fuck, Laffy. And I just begin beelining it to the Tears of the Moon.
So you, all four of you, are, I'll say for the sake of argument, arrive in the Tears of the Moon around the same time. The place is
Wait, can I have
largely
one thing while I was walking?
Of course, yeah.
I definitely know where bakers are, so
Of course, yes.
I just go in and buy. I don't know. I buy like 2 cinnamon rolls and
And 2
I'm
that
like-
would kill you.
yeah, I just buy like 2 cinnamon rolls and I can't. My mind's blanking on pastries.
Pain au chocolat.
Yeah, and pain au chocolat. I buy 2 of each, and just like put them in the bag and carry them.
Yeah, you find yourself in the Tears of the Moon. It's very, very quiet. It's like I don't want to call it like the pre-dinner lull because it's not like a drinking establishment. This is kind of like it is and it isn't. But like for whatever reason, at this time of day, it's completely empty of people apart from you guys. And there's like a table in the corner or wherever you want. You can meet up to have a chat. Rusty's there, like. He's found like a piece of meat and he's just gnawing on it, and yeah, and the lot of you arrive.
Can I, before getting there, could I? Oh wait, no. Ignore that. We will go there anyway. Whatever.
I was gonna ask, the way that I would have gone, would I have gone past this, like, church that Kudo was in?
What? Don't worry about it. We'll get there.
I would
Don't
say
need to
no,
worry.
but like you could when you get out to the Tears of the Moon, like it's very close. So if
Okay.
the 2 of you want to go at night, like maybe because James's voice is going. If you guys want to discuss amongst yourselves what you want to do for a short while in character,
Yeah.
that'd be wonderful. So I could have a lozenge.
What was
Yeah,
what was the barman's name again?
He's not there. It's a new guy.
Okay. Oh.
This
Okay.
new guy doesn't speak.
Never
He's
mind.
mute.
New guy does. He kind of like nods at you, and then he sign languages to you, Wolf. It's
Yeah.
like I don't speak. Do you want to go?
I sign language. Neither do I most of the time.
He's like thumbs up.
Give him a thumbs up. I just in his head. I just
Finger
say, no, just finger guns. Yeah. I just say or finger crossbows. I just say just a round of something, just something nice. Just like what do you guys want?
Something to drink.
So what do you want to drink?
An ale.
I still have this and I hold up my water
Okay,
skin.
that's
Ugh.
disgusting. Why do I smell tea? I'll just have if you have any, I don't know, hot chocolate maybe.
He nods.
Laughing, Rusty.
I'll have a hot chocolate.
I don't think Rusty can have hot chocolate. I think he's like a
It's
dog.
like a dog.
Yeah. He's just like
Just get him a
looks
glass
up.
of milk.
Yeah, a glass of milk, and he just like laps up.
Wait, I don't
Put it in a
think.
bowl.
Fucking everywhere.
Wait, actually, I don't think he can take milk either.
Oh, yeah, it's just lactose intolerant. It's just
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
No, he's happy with. Like,
How
a
about
glass of
an
milk.
apple juice?
Yes, please.
Do you want a fruit shoot, Rusty?
A Capri Sun.
He can't get the straw in, and he's like, "Fuck!"
He's happy like gnawing on this like salted bit of meat, and he's got his packet of hula hoops, and he's
It's cheesing
on
on
the
your
fruit
crisps.
machine. Yeah, cheesing
I still one of those crazy straws as well.
The glasses ones where it like goes around their eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's having a well of reading his Beano. He's having a well of
I just want to sit down by the table, just like at the table where we all are, and just sort of under the table. I just want to like gently like tap like Laffy's like leg or like her stomach, just like to get her attention.
You can just speak to her.
I know.
Right,
She just look at you like wide-eyed, like panicked, like yeah.
So I just like gesture. I just like, I don't know how the fuck to do this. Just out of the bag.
I love how you're just as awkward as
I know.
well.
I'm trying to figure it out. how to do it because I forgot in the moment I could speak in someone's head. It's crazy. Wolf just under the table hands you a pan of chocolate.
Oh, Laffy's eyes would light up because she's like, "Oh my god, chocolate!"
I didn't think about this beforehand.
Sugar rush.
Laffy,
Mhm.
remind me if you told us already, but may I ask what? Oh fuck you! Can't remember.
You good?
Okay.
Good?
Well, in that case, I really would need you to come with me to a temple. I really need to show you something.
Yeah, sure. Now?
Maybe a bit later when it's getting dark out.
Okay.
Nothing weird really, it's just...
You don't have to specify that it's not weird. It didn't feel weird until you said it's nothing weird. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like saying goodbye,
Well,
no homo.
Well, it's really weird to see what some persons are thinking if they are wearing masks.
What?
Who's wearing a mask?
I'm the only one wearing a mask here.
Yes, you are the boy, girlfriend. Sorry.
I'm just gonna put my hand on the back of the back of my hand on Kudo's head and like feel for like a temperature and be like, "Are you feeling okay?"
Yes, so just let's go during the evening. So yeah.
Okay.
So how was all of your trips?
Good, I got us a possible job. The pay's good.
Already? I want to relax for a few days. All things considered, it's been a long 2 weeks or so.
So you have enough money to get us
Yes,
in an
I
inn for a few days?
I didn't spend 600 gold on a sword that you can't use.
I can use the sword. Look,
Mhm.
no, I actually better not.
I'm gonna like turn to Lou and be like, "Do you need some money? Here's 3 copper."
Cheeky bugger, and I take the 3 copper. More money is always welcome. I am going later to sell the stuff we gathered. You know, these hides, armor, and leather. Maybe splint too. Anyone want to come with, or just me?
I'd like to go shopping.
Yes.
We might also want to convert our gems into actual money.
Gems can be just as useful.
True.
I mean, I wasn't planning on it, but I guess if everyone else is, then it seems weird.
Laffy's
if I
like
don't.
already at the door, like practically
Laffy,
balancing.
We're not
Can we go-
going
can
yet.
we-
We need to.
Can we go shopping, please?
As long as you're paying, I'm willing to go shopping anywhere, anytime. Don't worry, I'm not expensive.
You are.
I'm just saying, Kura's head. Why does it feel like she's flirting?
Sorry, but none of you are in my league. So,
Hey, I say it in Kura's head. You don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, fair enough.
So,
I always forget you like do this telepathy thing.
What? Remind me if I'm wrong, but everybody saw Laffy kissing Wolf on the cheek.
I don't know. I was behind
she
you
moved
all.
back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I assume they have been giving each other bedrooms entirely.
Like the Nala eyes.
Yeah.
James, can I make an insight roll to see if I figured it out?
Yeah, make an insight roll to see if you've noticed any change of chemistry.
Probably not at 6.
You need to read more novels, my dude.
Deliveries into the forest are very hard,
That's
honestly.
fair. Well, I was wondering, like, I think we have. I want to take a few days to relax because that was a lot.
Time is money.
We shouldn't have spent it all then.
Well, the job I have, maybe secured, would pay 1,000 gold.
Okay.
We could really use that money.
We or you?
Yes. One of those two.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm still fine.
You don't need an inside check. That the answer is
know, I'm
obviously
not.
Lou.
I'm not. I understand
We all
basic.
know.
I understand basic things. Well, I don't want to jump straight into something. And I'm honestly, because I didn't buy a sword that I can't use, I'm actually fine for a while when it comes to money. I mean, I also have some possible things we could do.
Like what?
Well, let me look at my things I wrote down. Well, I don't know if you remember. I don't remember who was there, but I think it might have just been you, Laffy. When we talked to Sue, she mentioned that she worked under an artificer named Malloy. Apparently, his communication has stopped, but that is to the east or to the west, and probably pretty dangerous. There's also reports of ghosts within the walls, or a ghost within Havenorel, which seems strange.
Wait, here?
Yeah,
Last time there were rumors of a ghost. There was no
I bet
ghost.
it's Ned again.
I don't think that's Ned. And then the
Better
last
not
one
be.
is, well, I have other information about Ned. The other thing is something I don't know how time sensitive it is. I'd have to check. But where I grew up, there was an older elf who was a founder or a member of the Lifespring Alliance, a high up ranking member, and he needs some help, some safe passage, which is something that I'm mostly interested in because I really have not been home in a while, and it might be nice. But then I've also, I don't know if while you guys were out you saw anything. If you do, then please tell me. There have been increased sightings of the chloride path, and I say to just the three of them, not Rusty. Rusty is a target of interest to them.
Slavery?
I'm not sure, but it's the same people. It's Ned. It's Ned's people.
You'd see like visible panic, but like not to the point where when panic she was when she lost Rusty earlier, but just like big wide eyes and like complete silence. She's like looking between Wolf and Rusty.
I've said to them that I've mentioned Rusty to my group, and they've said that to bring specifically you two, Rusty and Laffy, in for a bit to ask questions and learn more. Because you have that staff that we found there, Laffy, and Rusty is definitely of interest to them because they have been many of them asking about Ross Kobolds.
Right.
Maybe we can invest in like an illusion ring to like make him look like, I don't know, a dwarf or something like that.
Or just-
Something less rusty.
That is honestly not a bad idea.
That is quite a good idea.
I mean, even like a cloak would help. Maybe a cloak of Elvenkind. I heard those are really good for like sneaking
Well, the
around.
problem is he still has a very distinct form.
Well, yeah, but nobody is going to give a second look to a short cloaked figure in full plate armor. But they are going to give a second look.
That's such a lie.
Well, if we're like, I assume in a city where a lot of adventure, so I assume the sight of like an armored dwarf or something like that isn't all that surprising or uncommon.
Well, he's got a
Well,
tail.
walking around in like full armor with weapons is quite unusual.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, that's sort of what I learned. It's boring stuff, really. Did anything happen? Anything interesting happen to you guys? Luffy, what happened after the boat?
Well, I nearly fell in the water, but I didn't. Rusty did. Just like say it quietly so Rusty doesn't hear me.
When?
But Sissy got me out. Do you remember Sissy when we met her?
The
Druid?
weird lady.
She's eccentric. I wouldn't say weird. Weird
Well,
weird
everyone's weird.
seems a bit, you know.
Well, I think we're all weird, so.
Yeah. But she helped me out, and then we were actually talking about everything that happened, and I mentioned Ned, and then she said that she used to date a Ned, and
Did you ask if it was the same Ned?
I
That'd be
didn't.
very useful information.
Yeah, I should have, but I was kind of worried it would be a bit awkward.
That's
I
fair.
don't know.
Mm.
I mean, I'm sure we'll see her again over the next few days. I can ask.
Mm-hmm. What about you two?
I will need to ask a favor from you all and stop calling out my name in presence of strangers.
Everything I say is in your head. I never call out your name.
Wait, can I give you a
Never
cool
honest.
nickname?
If you can come up with a cool nickname, go ahead. I'll give you 3 copper.
She's just gonna like start thinking really hard for the next X amount of time.
Yeah.
She's like putting so much thought into this.
The job I was mentioning is one from the Black Rock Tally. They are an underground group, and if we do them this favor, they might be able to help us with Rusty.
Blackrock Tally are like criminals.
Yes, but not all criminals are bad people.
James,
Criminals.
would I know who the Blackrock Tally are?
Yeah, and you remember that guy that you?
Oh yes.
yeah,
Okay.
he's not a high up member. He's like a
Yes.
mid-level member of them. He is
Like an enforcer.
yeah, an enforcer's a really
They're not good people. And whatever you say about, criminals is just a word. They're not good people.
Maybe. What one is money, and we need favors to keep Rusty safe.
I know a lot of people who could keep Rusty safe without lowering myself to criminal level.
But you're a better person than I am.
Yes, I am. It seems. What about you, Kudo?
I don't think that's a high bar, Lou.
You're spouting.
Yes, I went to the Temple of Palestina, and let's just say I found something interesting that I want to clear some confusion about.
Something interesting? Are you going to elaborate? You're going to keep us all in the dark.
Well, I guess I will later, but I want to know. We'll see what's about it first, I think.
Okay. Well, I had sort of an idea. At least while we're in the city, I have a home, not too far from here, and it might be a good place to keep Rusty safe for a little bit. I would want to bring him to my order first, but afterwards it might be a good place if they don't have any ideas. And I mean, it's just a place because it's also probably don't want to stay at an inn if we can help it. I know, Lou, you're very conscientious about money, so maybe you should just stay at the inn and we'll go back to my house. I don't know, just a thought. Would the Midnight Hunt's place be anywhere near the temples?
It's not far. It's like where you are now is like probably 10-15 minute walk.
Okay. We do need to wait to do anything till Azalea is back. We don't want to make any big decisions without her, I would say. And we saw there was a message on the tablet saying that she met up with Riptide, and they're making their way back, so shouldn't be longer than a few days.
Okay.
Well, going to your place sounds like a good idea.
I'm gonna like turn to Rusty and like crouch down and be like, "Do you want to go see Wolf's house?"
Yes, please.
Maybe the house would be the last, actually, but
He's covered in crumbs.
Turn back to Wolf, look at her, and then turn back to Rusty and go, "Do you want to go see Wolf's house later?"
He's like, he picks up the bag of crisps he was eating. He's like, like his snout's fully in there. It doesn't look like he minds too much.
Cool.
He's just excited to be here. Yeah.
Rusty, by the way, are you okay with answering some questions to some some people? Okay, okay.
How nice are they? Are they as nice as Laffy?
Well, that's difficult. Probably not as nice as Laffy, but they're decently nice.
He's gonna look at Laffy and he's gonna go, "Is it safe?"
I'm gonna like look at Wolf for like contemplate it for a second.
I didn't think I was meant to speak to strangers.
And then I'm gonna look back at Rusty and say, "I trust Wolf."
The city is about as safe as a city would be. Just don't, go to shady places.
Yeah, like doing work with criminals. That'd be crazy.
Ooh.
I'm going to let that slide.
Just came to mind. Just an example. Yeah, I mean, I trust the vast majority of them. So, I mean, they're all very capable.
I feel like you can tell just from looking at her. Laffy's not 100% convinced, but she really wants to trust that you'll do what's best.
Bad choice.
It's difficult.
Are they your friends, Wolf?
Most of them, yes.
Do they also wear masks?
I trust you. I trust you.
Some of them do, some of them don't.
Mouth full of crisps.
Yeah.
Crumbs out everywhere.
Some of them wear masks, some of them don't. Depends on the person.
And a mask as nice
Do they
as
also
your
have
mask?
nicknames, or is that just you?
Aww.
Thank you, Rusty. Everyone has a nickname like mine.
We should ask them to give Lou a nickname because I can't come up with one.
I'm not going by an animal.
Well, you're an animal.
You're more of an animal than I am. You're named after an animal.
Get a room, guys.
Just imagine every time I say something to that, Lou's the only person who hears it. Just when I make a comment.
I actually have a class ability. It's called. I forgot what it's called, but that's about
being a necromancer.
No, I call it metagaming. Or just forgetting you're speaking to one person in their minds.
I just thought because it's. I don't want Rusty to get hurt, and I'm scared that he might. And these people probably know better than I what to do.
At the minute, he's like on his back with all of his feet in the air, holding this bag of crisps, trying to get the last crumbs out.
This is what I mean.
It's like a dog and a cat in one.
Yeah. And a toddler.
And a child. See, I was thinking we go to my place and then maybe head to wherever you wanted to go afterwards, Kudo.
Yeah, maybe some shopping as well. I think we heard something about that.
Yeah, I'm going after this talk, and I think someone can't wait as well.
Well, I want Laffy to be there while they talk, because they also want to ask you some things as well.
Me?
Just nothing major, just like about, Ned and the staff was the main factor.
She's gonna like hold it and be like, "Are they gonna take it?"
I will make sure they don't.
Okay.
If we're going to stay here a few days, how long exactly?
I don't know. Well, at least until Azalea comes back, which will probably be a few days. two or three.
I'm going to assume 3. I want to get some things done in the city as well.
And then, I mean, depending on what we want to do after, we could set out immediately, or we could wait a bit longer.
We do need to keep an eye on Rusty, though.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's why I want him to come back.
I do think getting some sort of disguise for him would be a really good idea.
Well, here's the I have a disguise.
When he hears that, he's gonna poke and goes, "Am I not pretty?"
Oh, I'm gonna like hold his face and be like, no, it's not that. It's just because we need to make sure that no bad people try and get you again.
Oh, okay.
I can get him a
Chris.
false mustache if you give
So
me like some charcoal.
Well, I have a disguise kit, but like he just stand out a bit.
Yeah.
We could
In a
just make
good
him
way,
black or
Rusty.
something like
Obviously,
that,
in a
like
good way.
another color.
Yeah.
Wolf, I assume your passive perception's over 3.
Yes.
Yeah. You look down and like Rusty's like surreptitiously reaching across to get one of those cinnamon rolls. Like his hands just like banging into your leg, and it's like
I break half of one of them. I hand it to him.
okay.
I tried to steal the other half.
Go on then, try me, bitch.
But no, so he has his. Oh my god, that one. Jesus.
I see Luke.
No
I
way.
just grab her wrist and just stare at her. What
I was
saying about
reaching for the
criminals?
cutlery. I need a fork.
Reaching the cutlery under my leg, under the table next to my leg.
I'm reaching on top of the table. I'm not.
It's in my
into
bag,
you.
Lou.
I'm gonna take my pan of chocolate and I'm gonna break it in half and give half of it to Lou and be like, here you go.
Lou is,
anything nice.
Don't
Lou
mess
is
with the
very
cinnamon rolls.
Lou, do you live off of anything other than alimo? Wait, just
Sambuca and bread.
Sambuca and drama.
a tea mix and bread.
anything other than alimony? No, just like what you give to homeless people.
It's more efficient, money-wise.
What?
Let's go.
This way, I don't have to pay for food. I just get it.
So I'd like turn to Kudo and be like, so I'll meet you back here after the, when it's like evening.
Yes, that sounds.
I don't know what time we decided it was. Like, it won't be long to leave.
I mean, I feel like it was. I feel like you might have said late afternoon, like early afternoon when we started, so like 2-3ish. So it's probably like 6.
Yeah, I'd say it's like I mean, it might be easier if you did the. I'd say it's like it's the gloaming hours now. It's twilight now.
I mean, I only mentioned it because I didn't know what the time was, and I thought that was the best.
I haven't really been tracking, but that would make sense because you travelled down from the Looping Vale in the morning, and you travelled a long way. You travelled many miles.
So it would be like technically, the sun would be setting.
Yeah.
So would it be better to do that place first, then my place?
It's up to you.
Is that what you're saying? I mean, I would just go with whichever's closer.
I mean, they're both equidistant. It's up to you what you want to do.
No, D6. 1 to 3 is church.
You're making a lot of.
I know. You made it sound weird when I say it.
Like,
So so we're going to the hunt. I guess first, unless
I'm really struggling because what you're doing is you're going to your house, to the temple, and then back to your house.
No, well, my house isn't at the hunt,
Okay.
James. So
Oh yeah, true.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, cool. So you're heading to the hunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everyone
So-
going?
Don't know.
Is everyone going to go? Like, what would you have told them about this place? Because
Nothing. I've intentionally left it pretty vague.
Yeah, I mean, like Lou has like, I think something came up once.
Yeah, she rolled a check and
she's
she rolled
heard
like
of
a 10 or something, so she knew something, but I don't think she'd know.
I heard the name, but I don't have any context.
Yeah.
So you've heard the name, and from like hanging out with Wolf, who's not given much away, all you know is it's like some secretive cabal of people who have animal nicknames. But it's like she leads. I don't know who's following,
I'm following if she doesn't uninvite me.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you're all going. You're heading towards it. You're heading towards this like really imposing looking building in a very central area.
Oh, we're
And
going straight there. Okay.
Well, it's up to you.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, it sounded like I've offended you. I'm just like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
No, I didn't know that they were located in the same place.
They're like not far apart. Like,
Okay.
you know, this is all. It's all within the central area.
Yeah.
Like from like Tis the Moon, like, and there's the Lifespring, and this is the area
building,
you're in. Yeah. And so you head in, and there's like, you have to like announce that you're bringing these people in when you get to like the door, because otherwise they will be stopped. Like civilians are not encouraged to just wander in. They're very like politely shown the way out. So you have to like not sign them in, but you know they're with you. They're your responsibility, kind of thing. Hint, hint, guys. If you want to wind Cerulean Wolf up, now's the time.
On second thoughts, maybe Lou should wait out here.
But you know, you
Just
get
think
in
this
and you
even
walk
if you pay me.
You're walking through the target area, and you can see the area before where you and the Ivory Viper were having your little, I don't want to call it a sparring session, but your conversation probably. The bolts, I think it's safe to say that Cerulean Wolf's bolts are like fairly, not I want to say unique, but like identifiable because of what happens to them when they're fired. Like when you put the right on them, I would assume they look different than a normal bolt.
Well, I think in the actual thing it says when it's a ranged weapon, it infuses the weapon rather than the bolt. But
okay.
But then it takes that residual energy and does the extra. But I mean, yeah, they could have maybe some like runes carved, like some small things like painted or carved on.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously probably wouldn't have activated your right
no,
to shoot
I
at
didn't,
the targets. So
they're
yeah,
blue.
okay, they're blue. Let's say blue. That works. So you see, there's evidence that Cerulean Wolf's been here. Like there's these blue bolts in there, but there's also like normal arrows and darts in there. Again, there's a lot of activity going on. And you see walking up towards you is this very tall, elegant, fairly like milfy elf woman in green, and she's got this like studded leather armor, very similar to what Wolf wears, except it's got this like almost feathery motif, not like ballerina-y. It's just got like hints on it that it's like meant to represent bird, like and she walks, but she's got this look of like confusion on her face, like what the hell's why she brought these people here to her. And then she sees Rusty as she's walking up, and she kind of like the penny drops kind of thing, and so she puts this big smile on, and she goes welcome to the hunt. You may call me Viridian Swan. I'm sure you've heard plenty about us, plenty about me.
Just shake my head.
Oh, okay, maybe not. I suppose you may call me the leader here for the moment. Cerulean Wolf here has obviously brought in your friend, Mr. Kobold. Would you like to follow me inside?
I'm going to take Rusty's hand.
Yes, and she. I
just want to say in Rusty and Laffy said, don't worry, she's very nice. She can be a bit intimidating sometimes, but she does mean well.
5 seconds later, someone's stabbed.
She walks you through this, and you start heading downstairs, this like winding circular staircase, and she's kind of looking for an empty room, and she finds one, and in there, well, not an empty room, in there is this Aarakocra, this beautiful like bird of paradise Aarakocra, and she leans in, and this Aarakocra, even though she's got this like curved hook beak of a parrot, she's got this like headdress almost, and it's got these like scales on it, not like a dragon, but like a fish. And this woman, this Viridian Swan, leans on to goes, Pike, do you mind? We're going to use this room. Wolf has brought in the Rust Kobold we've been hearing so much about. and this bird's like, ooh, okay, and like scuttles out, and she puts down she puts down and goes, well, take a seat all. She gives everyone like quite a piercing stare, and her eyes linger on Laffy and Kudo for quite a while. Like I don't think she would have ever seen a Tanuki, and her eyes linger on Laffy, and then they move to Rusty, and she's got this really penetrating stare. She's like trying to like size you up in her mind.
I know I should, but I immediately don't like her.
She's very imposing. She's very
I'm very threatened
strong.
by her.
Yeah, she's got powerful energy. Like it like radiates off her almost.
I can see this, and I can probably tell Laffy's like nervousness almost.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I just want to say in Swan's head, just be nice, please. They've been through a lot.
It's a little like small grin on her face. Okay, so you must be she checks the notes again. Blue Group 13. Oh, doesn't that just roll off the tongue? I heard there was a sixth.
She's
in the bathroom.
She's the big flower that I mentioned. She had a quite severe reaction to it, so she's making her own way back. She should be within the next few days.
Okay, well, it takes us all very differently. As I say, I am Elria Nasorn. You may call me Viridian Swan within these walls. I am, well, a little bit about the Midnight Hunt. You may or may not heard of us. We are a group who are best described as peacekeepers. Cerulean Wolf, one of my best and brightest and newest, and we assigned her to the tithe scheme to make sure that you young adventurers aren't getting yourself into too much trouble, and I hope she's been running a very tight ship. The reason I believe you've been brought here, the group of you, your young kobold friend here, has caused somewhat of a stir. I don't know if you're aware of a group called the Chloride Path. I believe you encountered them on your misadventure, shall we say, in the house. A group of... I don't know how best to put this. I think the word cultists is probably the most appropriate here. They are obsessed with empowering a dragon to overthrow Algad, and they believe it will grant them great wealth. Between you and me, I think they are a bunch of fools. However, they are a growing group of fools, and they are quite powerful in their own way, causing no small amount of pressure inside the city, and have identified your dear friend there as an obstacle that needs to be, shall I say, removed? And like Rusty's completely oblivious, not missing all the context clues, the words he understands, but they're just not landing on him. And he's just sat there with his legs swinging under the chair, like he's just completely oblivious.
So Laffy's not necessarily like scowling. That's probably the wrong word for it, but she's watching very intently, and has like a very I don't know the right word, not stern, but like cautious look on her face. Mm-hmm. And then the minute that she says the word removed, her eyes are going to go really wide.
So, yes, I see you're quite fond of your little friend, I see. As well you should be, admirable. So there are a few options available to us, one of which I will presume is a no-go, but needs must. I would like to suggest, again, I don't think this idea is going to get much traction, but we could use
we're not doing that
friend here as bait, but
no.
Yep,
we're not doing that.
Yes, no, completely understand. 2, you leave him here in our capable and firm hands to guard. We don't know why they want him, or why they want him dead, or what, or I don't know. We don't know anything about that.
So you first said that you wanted to use him as bait, and now you would
No. Please listen. These are the options available to you, because we don't know how many people are after him or why. We just have heard through our connections that they are still looking for this creature. I believe you called him Rusty.
Mm-hmm.
We are not here. I'm not in the business of making idle promises or threats, but I will say this: we are an elite group, a fighting force. Individually, I'm sure you're aware, Cerulean Wolf is a very capable fighter. She is one of the newest and youngest of our brood, and we have members of the society who are, I mean, I don't want to diminish her achievements, but are years ahead of her in terms of deadliness. I myself fought in the war and escaped with nary a scar but this one. She points to a very small nick on her nose.
Does your group specialize in something like magic or just bladed combat? Because I know that Cerulean Wolf here specializes in crossbows and curses, I think. I don't really understand it.
We specialize is a strong word. We all have our own specialities. We are a group designed to be responsive to many different threats. After the end of the war with the Liches, it became very apparent that there were threats other than the undead out there, and so we have adapted to be able to target and hunt specific threats rather than generic ones. So, in answer to your question, we are specialists in dealing with threats, be that a powerful creature who is causing destabilization in the areas, or whether it is a political one that just needs observation. And surely Cerulean Wolf has shown herself to be capable in dealing with the, and she kind of pulls out a sheet of paper, look back, big red purple plant. And she kind of like raises her eyebrows like,
That's what it was. I don't know what to say.
well,
It was like an alien. It was. I wrote alien in the report.
well,
You could have wrote consumer.
It's not the consumer though, is it?
consumer?
It's-
She scans through.
Not-
She goes, I don't think you mentioned that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was a lot. It mentioned before it died that it was running from something, and called it the consumer.
Wait, what? So the plant was running from something?
Yes.
That's very confusing.
yes,
I will
it is
await
confusing.
your full report. I will await your full report.
Yeah, that takes a few days.
So, so here your options. Sorry, we got distracted there. One of them was you use.
Don't need to repeat it.
Yeah, we can skip on from that one. 2, Rusty stays here within the hunt. We'll take very good care of him. 3, we continue as it is now, and Rusty remains in your care. However, I will say that may make you a target. So it's a difficult one.
I would like to suggest. I have an idea. At least while we're in the city, I thought that Rusty might be able to stay where I live, because obviously I'm there, just in case, and maybe increase security around the area.
It's not as simple as that. Cerulean Wolf, the forces are spread at the moment with the threat, the increased threat of the chloride path.
Yes, but surely if we know that the chloride path are focusing on individuals like Rusty, then it seems more wise to have a few more people in that
Yes, but
area.
they don't know where he is yet, and I didn't think you wanted to use him as bait.
I don't want to use him as bait, that's what I'm saying.
Well, this is what I mean. If we are not releasing the information that he is here, why would they come for you? All I'm saying is, if they see you, then you would have to deal with it on a one-on, as a
Yes.
as a one-on-one. I don't want to,
But there was a plan suggested by, and I point to Lou. She had the idea, I don't know if we have one on hand, or we could maybe buy one, to use some sort of disguise.
Yes.
Some illusion magic.
Yes. Yes, that could work. I suppose we could have a look and see if there's something in the vaults we could use. What were you thinking?
It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just anything that could, disguise his person.
Are they both speaking via telepathy?
She speaks normally.
Yeah. The Viridian Swan.
When I'm in conversation, I want to assume that I am saying it to everyone, so everyone can hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's talking out loud. She's using the flappers.
It could just be a change of color to make him more normal looking. I assume well, I haven't met any kobolds, but apart from the color, that part, he's usually like a normal kobold.
Well, the problem with that, my dear, she kind of like flicks through her notes and then she kind of like makes an assumption. Lou, the problem with that is if they are using anything other than their eyes to hunt for him, they're using a locate creature spell, for example, that won't help. They would just direct them to a kobold. It's a knotty problem, and but I do not wish to force you to make a decision, and you certainly don't have to make one today. But I would say that it's in your interest to make it quickly.
How about a ring that blocks divination? Wouldn't that stop most people from finding him via magical means?
It would certainly, but again, then the flip side is, what if he is just seen, and I can't just be giving out magical items willy nilly. I don't have one of those spells, for example.
Do you know where we could buy one?
It's not my area of expertise.
I know someone that could sell us one.
Excellent. But I mean, the group of you seem to have done very well for yourselves. You handled the chloride path. What was it called themselves? The frigid fangs. She says, and she like clearly is trying to hold back a laugh. You handled them quite plainly. Oh, that reminds me, my dear. And she looks at you laughing. She looks at you like it's a really piercing look. She's like pinging you to the chair with it. She's like definitely trying to get a read on you about something. Would you mind?
I want it in her head when I see that. Can I say, "Why are you looking at her like that?" Just in her head, I give her the option to speak back.
Much like you, my dear, she reminds me of my sister. And she kind of shrugs you off.
Fuck off! I just understood what's going on.
She goes, "Have we?" Sorry, I was distracted, my dear. You remind me of someone I've not seen in years. Would you mind if I saw the staff and took it to one of our artificers in house? They are very, very, very good. They'll be able to tell us exactly what it is and see if there's a possibility of any danger. Perhaps, for example, if they know you have that device. Sorry, the item. They can. It's easier to search for items than it is for creatures. They locate the item, and then that leads them to the. And she gestures to Rusty.
Yeah, and then I'll give her the staff.
Okay.
And then look at Wolf with these big eyes, like I'm gonna get that back right.
She like turns on her heel. And she like yells down the corridor. It's like she like properly like oi, kind of like down the corridor. For somebody caught. She yells down and she goes, Lysarian, and then this guy runs up. She goes, here, take this down to the artificers and see what they can make out of it. And
we need that back before we leave.
Oh, he's like, well, I don't know how long it will take them. When are you planning to leave?
Well,
in a few days.
Oh, I'm sure you'll have it back in a few days, unless it's dangerous.
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
Well, as I say, it may be that the item itself is dangerous.
Have you never heard of karma?
What?
Karma?
Don't think that's
I have very familiar with
this.
karma. I like to think of myself as part of the balance of karma. I've been placed here to act on its behalf sometimes. And then she's staring at you, Lou. She's like doing the same, like properly, like drilling into your eyes.
I'm gonna like cut in, but like try my best not to sound rude and be like, did you say you had questions for Rusty? We have somewhere we need to be.
Yes. Rusty, and she kind of like, it's a little bit patronizing how she does it. She kind of gets down on to his level.
You are not
like,
helping.
like looks at him, and she's like, Rusty.
Stop speaking to him like that. He's not a child or a dog.
He does he does have the mentality of one though. So
Rusty, are you do you mind answering some questions for me? Okay.
Illyria, stop it.
Well, okay. Do you
Speak to him
mind?
like a normal person.
Okay.
He's a normal person. He's not a dog.
Do you remember where you were captured? Captured. And there's like this moment, and he shakes his head. And she goes, "Okay. Do you remember anything about the people who were holding you before you were rescued by your friends here?" And there's this pause. And he shakes his head, and her brow wrinkles a little bit, and she looks at you, Wolf, like, "I thought you said he was like a normal person." And she goes, "Do you remember anything since then?" And he nods, and she's like, "Oh, okay, wonderful. Can you tell me?" And he just he goes, "I found Laffy," and he like holds your hand, and like that's like the end of it. And she's like, "Right, okay." And she looks back at you, and she's like, "This guy's an idiot." And then she goes, "Well, I don't think he's going to be a great amount of help. What I really wanted to know is why he'd been captured, because without finding a member of the chloride path, we can't."
Well, I thought it was clear from what I said that it was they want to sacrifice them.
Yes, but to what end? I mean, the note was very vague. Is it?
Well, surely the fact they want to sacrifice them is enough. So,
well, whether it's to remove them from doing something, so him being alive prevents them doing something, or to sacrifice him to achieve another thing. Do you understand what I mean?
well, either way, they're going to end up dead. So I feel like that's all the thing we need. We know that this is not a good thing.
She replies back psychically, just to you. Like, she goes, "We don't know whether it's his body they want, so perhaps it would be better if we completely destroyed him." She doesn't say that to anyone else.
Yeah.
You. And then she kind of like leaves you with a knowing look.
See, I just give you hear like an audible like a breath in, and like a catatonic like stare for a second, and that she's like, "What?"
If his body is required as part of a sacrifice, a magical spell, perhaps his skin or bones or essence is used somehow in some kind of summoning ritual. If that can be prevented, that will prevent an ancient dragon being summoned in the middle of the city, then it is in the interests of the Midnight Hunt and everyone else in the city that possibility is completely removed, which is why we need to understand why he is being targeted and for what specifically. I'm not saying we do it to remove him. That is inhumane. I'm just saying we don't know anything.
We've just got sad and looks at the ground.
And so she goes, "Apologies all. Sometimes," and this is to the group because previously it was just one straight to Wolf. Sometimes these internal conversations, they help us clear things up. Hopefully I've made myself quite clear. She looks at Wolf. He goes, "In answer to your question, my dear, I will try to get you your staff back as soon as possible. What we don't want to do is, have a dangerous item out there, especially one as provocative as an ice dragon's head. Well, we can get hold of Wolf, and rest assured, you will not be doing without. But did you have any further questions for me? I know you've travelled long and far."
You said I reminded you of somebody.
Yes, I can't place it. Maybe it's one of the. And she goes, "Us elves, we are rather beautiful, are we not?" I say it's definitely definitely my younger sister. Alas, no longer with us. Many years now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, but it's one of the things being involved. Having family in a time of war in a group such as ours, it's not always safe. And she kind of leaves it, and she just shrugs. She goes, "But I say, life goes on. I know you said you had places to go, so please do not let me keep you. Wolf, I say, please keep an eye on your inbox. If we need to reach out to you, we will do so as quickly as possible.
Check my emails.
Yeah, check your emails. Keep your notifications on, and if you do wish to, come back tomorrow, and we'll see what we found out about this this staff of yours."
Okay.
Yes, and so she kind of leads you to the, and she's like, again, she's like staring at Kudo now, like trying to put. Before we go, you're not a tabaxi, are you, or lupine?
No.
Oh.
I am.
Crash Panda.
You're from the West Forest.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Why are you asking if?
Oh, it's just your markings. I'd not seen that before.
Okay.
Curious. She starts leading you out through the door, and through there. And she says, just before she says, "Wolf, a moment, if you don't mind."
Yes. Okay.
And she sends back. She says, obviously these, they aren't part of the hunt. I can't make demands of them. I can't ask them to do the things that I can ask you to do. Do try to keep that kobold out of trouble. If, as I said, if it is merely his life that needs to end for them to achieve their goals, that is one thing, and that means their goals will be achieved at some point. If it is something specific about his death that needs to be achieved, then do everything you can to avoid that.
No, I'm sorry, just turn around.
Very well. As long as we are understood, please keep him alive. I'm sure you will. Very, very well. So, yes, keep your eye on your box. And she when she scrolls back and says, "I meant your inbox. That was weird." And you guys are left, kind of like in the training yard.
Who wants to go shopping?
It's quite late at night now, I will say.
Me and Kudo need to go to the
Yes.
Who wants to go shopping tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, I will wake you up.
Me.
So you head to the temple.
Yes.
Okay, let's just say,
I
are you all
am
going?
going to go with them. Yeah.
I would just assume you're all going. I would just
Yeah.
assume you're all going. Yeah.
I have nothing better to do.
Yeah, and Rusty is like because like Laffy's without a staff now. He's just a bit on edge. Like he's not quite happy. Like he's like something, like something's not quite right with him.
Like they
And
took
he's
away his favorite toy.
Yeah, took away his favorite toy, kind of thing. He's a bit on edge.
And I'll say the whole time Wolf is just silent, just like looking blank. I mean, like looking up at where we're going, but looking blank, just not really knowing what to do.
But yeah, you get there, no problem. It's like 10-15 minute walk. I'm not sure if the walk is like kind of a little awkward. I kind of think it might have been, but like, you don't need anyone to show you the way now. You kind of know where you are. You can see it. But yeah, so you can find your own way. You can find your way there, no problem. Or Kudo can lead you there.
Yeah. I will also just head to the glass window panel directly.
Okay. Yeah, you head right there. You find it there, no problem. You can't see that girl that acolyte. You can see other acolytes, but you can't see that particular one. And you lead away there, and there's this stained glass window of this, and underneath it, in this really kind of fancy script, like fancy golden script that seems to like glow slightly. Maybe it's magical, maybe the gold in there is enchanted, or there's some kind of other illusion on there. It seems to be glowing, and it says Miranda below this picture of this, just like this elven woman who looks the spit of Laffy. Like the proportions are the same. Like, I mean, obviously it's stained glass, so it's not exact, but the eye color is the same. The hairstyle is very, very similar. Like the face, like all the distinctive features are the same. So yeah,
I don't remember anything.
So
So you're looking at this picture. Obviously, you've not seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
You've not seen this thing before. What would Kudo tell her about it?
So, is anyone not agreeing with that? We have a striking familiarity with Laffy here.
It happens.
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's go home. Come on then.
Peace.
Yeah,
I feel like
not
Laffy would
important.
just,
I'm
like-
sure this won't come to haunt us like 2 weeks from now.
I
feel
know
like
you
Laffy
told
would,
us
Sorry, go on.
you don't remember anything, but do you have any idea, any glint of an idea, how the hell a pretty much depiction of you is immortalized in this glass panel and is somehow also the picture of a, would it be called a war hero? Would you call of a hero?
Definitely like some kind of memorial, like a memorandum.
Yeah.
So Laffy would like reach up and like gently press her fingers against the stained glass, in like sort of a trying her best to like figure out what the hell's going on, because this looks like a mirror.
Yeah, it's really weird. You don't like. There's a brief description of what happened below, and it tells this story, this one-in story of this small village that was targeted, or in the middle of a blight that was created by a goblin warlord, and he'd like poisoned the ground, and it was creeping further and further forward. And this village of these Tanukis, this like lost village, didn't know what to do, and just kind of at the last minute, these three adventurers arrived. There was a human, a dragonborn, and this elven woman, and they kind of fought off the goblins and drove them back. But the blight was still encroaching on them, and so they were praying to the moon goddess Ballastina to try and stop this blight. And there was this moment where this human mage guy, he had this like epiphany, and he'd sacrificed or rather betrayed this Miranda, this woman, and like killed her to like put her essence and power into a reliquary of the moon goddess that would grant her the power to stop this blight. And when he did that, this whole temple erupted up around it. But as she was dying, she'd like turned around and she'd like understood and forgiven him, and like willingly gone into this reliquary. Then it stopped, it just annihilated the blight. This temple popped up out of nowhere. The village was saved. Everyone was really happy. Like they were all treated as heroes. Mainly this guy, this dude was like, because he'd been the one who like kind of made the decision to do what he needed to do. But obviously the followers of the moon goddess had identified this Miranda as like potentially one of these like demigods that popped up throughout history, like all the way back, of these luminous carriers of light and majesty and grace who touched the worlds in different ways and made it so that things like this weren't happening. They would bring light to the world and they would save it and generally they were associated with the moon, but not always. They were called the Little Sisters, and they basically were like heralds of saviors. They were the saviors that would come down and stop these world-ending or calamitous events. And this particular instance, this one had been called Miranda. And you don't remember those things happening. You don't remember those things happening, but you do remember a girl called Miranda who looked just like you, who was this sorceress woman who could change the very foundations of magic and like cast spells in ways that no one else could ever cast. And she had this absolute mastery over spells. She could cast the same spell, so like she could heal one person and another person at the same time. She could like channel the very fire from the stars itself, and she could like change and transmute spells, so they were all dealing like they were all channeling the power of the stars and the moon. And you remember really, really distinctly, and then 100, like, you know, like you can't remember the last time you saw it. It was so long ago that hundreds of years have passed since you've seen her, and you don't remember her leaving. You just remember her being gone and it being very sad.
So I would just say, like under my breath almost, I know her.
And how?
I don't know. I just... And then I just would shoot. Laffy would just go silent and contemplate everything.
Lou is going to go behind her and just like pat her on the back, like not really sure what to do, but try to help a little bit.
Really awkwardly, like. "Oh."
I'm gonna like turn to Kudo and say, "Is there anybody here that I could talk to?"
Well, there are the acolytes.
I'm gonna like look around and see if I can see anyone.
Yeah, there's a few dotted about. All the NPCs in the session have been women for some reason, so there's a dude.
I did realise that.
Yeah.
I'm
Except
gonna approach.
Goodwood.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but he doesn't count. He's a dick.
Yeah.
So there's a dude there, Mr. Moonface. I don't know. He's just like Moony McWhiskers is there, and he's a what would he be? He's this sea elf. No, we've got a sea elf. Let's see what we be. He's a warforged. I'll say he's a warforged, and all over him. So he's this being made out of wood and metal, and like parts of him are floating, like they're not connected. And all the wood is this really beautifully rich mahogany color, and the metal looks like this sky iron. This it's got these really weird kind of. Have you ever seen Damascus steel?
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's like a
Yeah, with
steel
the weird
that's got,
patterns, right?
yeah, weird patterns in it. Yeah, and it's really hard to describe. But if you Google Damascus steel, he's got these wavy patterns in the metal, and it's not all a uniform color. It's beautiful, like to look at, and all throughout him, like kind of branded
wow.
on him. He's got these runes and all this like moon paraphernalia, and he walks up to you and he nods. And he's like, "Hello.
Does he have any
How
reaction?
can I help?"
Does he have any reaction to me at all?
No, he doesn't. But then he's not an elf. He's like a construct. He's a humanoid construct. He perhaps views anyone with flesh as looking very much like anyone else with flesh.
This isn't going to be
Thanks.
helpful to me.
While they are talking to Squidward,
Yeah. Too bad
can I
SpongeBob's not here to enjoy SpongeBob not being here.
can I just walk away a few meters to do a
Yeah, you
prayer?
can moonwalk away. Yeah.
Because yes, just because I have heard the play of the acolytes already.
Yep. What was it you're sneaking away to do?
Pray.
Oh, pray. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's. Can you roll a religion check with advantage,
Yes.
please? But we'll go back to Laffy and this guy who I was trying to make sound like a robot, but apparently sounds like Squidward.
It
Mhm.
does sound like Squidward.
Adventurous today, aren't we, sir?
Is he the only guy in here?
He's like the only one that is polite. Like you can't see anyone that it wouldn't be impolite to go and speak to somebody else. Like there is another guy like 50 feet away, kind of thing.
I just wanted somebody to look at me and be like, "Wait, what?" Like to see that I look like the picture,
Like,
and then
who the fuck are you?
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, I guess you look kind of like that picture behind you.
Yeah, I was just a bit confused as to why.
Well,
I'm just sort of hoping somebody
Big
could...
question for someone who you're not.
yeah. I'm just slightly confused because. Sorry, you're confused why you look like this stained glass window.
Yes.
I can't help you there. It's a very pretty stained glass window. What? How could I help?
I don't think you can, but thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna turn and walk away with my head in my hand, like, oh fuck.
he like squelches off like Squidward does.
Does he also make the sound?
Yeah.
That's actually shockingly close to what it is.
But yeah, so he, goes and fucking plays the oboe or something. God knows what he's doing. I mean, so I will say this: if you want someone to have a reaction, there's another guy who is not a Warforged. Let's just give him. Let's say he's a half elf or a human. Let's
Cool.
go for John Smith, the human, who walks past and like double takes and is like, "Whoa,
Oh no! It's a stoner!
wow, oh my
Whoa,
God,
no,
no,
we
you look,
did!
no, you know, you look just like Miranda."
Can you please give me some information about Miranda? Because I know her name, but I don't know how I know her name, and she looks just like me, and I'm starting to panic
Yeah.
a little bit, and...
I wouldn't panic, man. It's a good look on you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, hi. My name's John.
Hi, John.
Hi. Are you
I'm
from Miranda?
Laffy.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that'd have been a real coincidence. This picture, this stained glass here was, and he kind of like goes from this like weird like stoner pose to kind of like a presenter on the Antiques Roadshow within about 3 seconds. And it's like this stained glass picture was donated to us by by one of the traveling like a traveling adventurer about 150 years ago. So during the middle of the Lich, wait, no, that won't make sense. It was donated about 75 years ago, but we think it was made about 200 years ago, way before the Lich War. You know, it just appeared as part of a kind of a religious symbol around the village in the forests. It's kind of passed down from person to person, like oral storytelling, and then they'd had this this elven guy there who loved doing glass stuff, so he did him a mosaic, and they told him what she looked like, so he did a picture, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm not having this in the middle of the fucking forest. I want it up on the wall somewhere."
Yeah. So, do you know anything about her? Where she came from, or where
So she was part of an adventuring group. There were 3 of them that had originated in Algadane, and exactly where is a little bit unsure. We think it was Rathminster that they started from originally, because that's where Berulio, the mage who killed her, was from. They kind of formed up together and had gone on this, standard adventuring party and winded their way up, solving problems that they came. Bear with me a minute. Let me see if I can find some information. And he pulls out a leaflet. And he goes, yeah. So Barulo and Miranda and the Dragonborn that they were with, who was called Clive, they all worked together. There were some floods that they helped dam. There was, but then the fallout for that was that there was some drought. But then they fixed that too, which was good, because that was a problem they caused. There was a chimera that they defeated. There was threatening the village. There was little Timmy who got lost down a well. All these different like small adventures that they had on their journey that took them and prepared them for what they needed to do in the village. They'd fought things. They'd learned. Learn how to fight, learn magic, things like that. She'd become a very powerful sorceress.
Yeah, I probably wasn't clear enough. I apologize. Do you know where she came from before? It's just like I know her, and I don't know how. And
the rumor, of course, is that she was one of the little sisters, so demigods of the moon. Or we like to think so anyway. That she was sent down, as a falling star, and someone had wished for help, and she'd landed. That was the rumor.
Huh.
We don't know how true it is. She descended down, floated down from the sky, illuminated. Sorry, no, she illuminated everything around her. She's one of the luminaries, and she inspired people all around her, and that's that's why I said it's a good look to have.
I'm just gonna panicked face, and also like utter shock, just turn and look at Wolf like for help, because I don't know what to do.
Would I know how much elves in general change over 200 years?
They do age. They're not like.
I mean, they're like, it's like they live like 800.
Yeah,
So 200 is a
dog
big
years.
margin.
Yeah, 200 is like the equivalent of like what?
It's like 20 years.
20 years, yeah. 20 years. So 200 years, but this is like uncanny. She doesn't look like a young woman, and that picture doesn't like, she looks. All the features are the same, and 200. I mean, you would expect there to be some change, like a graying of the hair, like a like wrinkles around the eyes, that kind of thing. It's just not there.
I'm not sure how to help life. I think I've done enough today. It's very strange.
I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. Like the stories of these guys popping up all the time. That and there's loads of names for them. Let me just see what there's Miranda, there's Rhea. Let me have a. I'm just trying to remember all the names. I should have put them somewhere in my OneNotes.
Would I remember any of the other names?
Yeah. So as he's saying the names, you're like, I know someone called that. Yeah. There was Astradia. There was Dion, Miranda, Rhea, Athene, Cressidia, Rosalind, Cordelia.
All of these the same person going by different names or different people.
Oh no, they were like hundreds of miles apart, years apart, and they all were like different. There was a few of them. Estrada was like this very powerful fighter. She was a warrior, and that she used magic to help her in her fights. Whereas Miranda, she was a sorcerer who could change the very essence of spells. And then there was Cordelia who sang songs to cast it. And then there was who else was there? There was Rosalind the ranger. There was Lafette the druid. There's all these other.
Sorry.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
that last one.
The druid Lafette. Yeah.
That's me.
Oh yeah, this was cool. Yeah.
No,
your
name was John. Yes.
Yeah, John.
Her name is Lafette, and she is a druid.
Huh. Cool.
When is the last time you when I make like a smoking motion?
No, it's laryngitis.
And
no, we get all.
Wait, so I need. Can you please find more information on the druid?
Oh well, she was like the young one, like the youngest of them all. She has appeared. Let's have a. You're gonna have to tell you what. Right, I'll go down and have a nose around, see what I can find. Where can I find you? Like to bring you this stuff, because it'll take me a while.
I tell him. I give him.
I'll come back tomorrow. Is that easier?
Yeah.
I will give him my address.
Yeah, just ask for John Hugh-Man, and they'll know who you mean. Yeah, it's weird because you look, just like him. Anyway, bye.
Bye. What?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that guy or the situation, but it's probably just a coincidence. I mean, how specific can a glass thing be of a real person?
Lou, why do I know all of their names?
I don't know, and honestly, I'm kind of scared to find out, because if you're like an avatar of a goddess, I don't know what to make of you. I'm a street rat. I don't know how to deal with it.
I don't know how to deal with this.
Here, hold Harold for a moment. This might help.
Thank you. I'm just gonna hold Harold.
Squeezing him. Yeah. His eyes start boggling.
And then I'm gonna give him back and then just pick Rusty up and just hold Rusty.
Yeah, you squeeze him, his eyes pop out a little bit. But yeah, so let's go back to Kudo. What did you roll on your religion?
What's 18?
Cool. That's better.
Almost the highest you can roll.
What is it you want from me as God?
I don't want anything from God. I want something from Bellastina.
She's literally a god.
Yeah, but not God. She's a god, but not God.
Okay, what would you like from Bellastina?
Yes. First of all, I would like to know if she knows anything about this consumer thingy. And second,
the consumer, I'll answer in turn. The consumer falls outside of her sphere of influence. All she knows about the consumer is that, she's heard the word, but it's not a name. That's just what one thing called it. It'd be like if somebody called night the blackness. You know what I mean? It's this.
Okay.
It doesn't mean anything to her.
And second of all, I wanted to ask if my suspicion that I am holding the sword with which Miranda was killed is the one I'm holding.
So rather than you holding the sword that Miranda was killed with, this sword is the reliquary that was created by her sacrifice and death. It wouldn't be a massive jump to assume that some element of her power and or soul was contained within the sword, and that is what gives it that radiant pulse every now and then when there is something around that it wants you to take care of. Like at the minute it's pulsing, you know, like when like that kind of that, you know, in the moonlight kind of thing, that is possible. Like the sword isn't like sentient, but it is aware a little bit. It is responsive to the world around it, and it is empowered by the moon.
Yes, and lastly, I wanted to know how all those years ago they finally could take out the blight that was pestering the lands back then.
So it's very generic. So the blight was this creeping poison. This like tree plague would probably be the best thing to describe it. It would go from tree to tree and just creep through the ground, rendering the ground barren and untillable. And it was approaching the village. And what these people did to defeat the blight, they destroyed the goblins who created it and drove them off. But that didn't stop the creepingness of the blight. What they did is they came together and they sacrificed Miranda's soul, or Miranda's life, to empower this temple and this reliquary, and that kind of divine light blitzed the blight out of the ground. So just the simple fact of like the god was given facility to bless that part of the ground and reinvigorate it, bring it all back to life, is what happened.
And she wouldn't want to tell me why the hell the picture of Miranda is looking the same as... Wait, just another question to Bellastina itself, a general question. While we were walking down the aisle to the picture of Miranda, were there any other pictures of chosen ones?
Not in this. I mean, there were other pictures, but none that looked like Laffy. There were other ones.
Okay.
There were other, other. None of the names that were mentioned of these little sisters, like this one was the one that's been most closely tied to an act of Bellastina's power, because of her sacrifice empowered the gods like touch on the earth. The other ones are like saints and stuff, like Grievous, sad face. I don't know.
I have a
don't really
question.
like names.
Do you know when we were in the town where we did the big werewolf fight?
Yes.
And
Half-Prairie.
yeah, Half Prairie, and me and Kudo went into the temple.
Mm-hmm.
I saw like a statue.
Mm-hmm.
And
There's
you said
a bas relief, yeah.
Yeah, and then you said that it looked like somebody I should have known, but it wasn't quite right.
No, so what I said was it was like it was meant to be representing the moon goddess, but you just knew it wasn't quite right. Like the features were wrong.
Okay.
So, would you happen to know why one of our party members is looking exactly like the glass picture?
It's weird, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is weird, that, isn't it? But it's 11 o'clock, so we'll leave it there for tonight.
Oh my god.
Yeah, tell you one more thing. It's the rinse model.
Yeah.
Can I? Because Wolf this whole time has been looking very. She's been like catatonic. She's not been doing anything.
Yeah.
And just either after Laffy spoke to that guy, Hugh-Man.
John Hugh-Man.
Yeah. She just in her head, Wolf just wants to say, I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. It's all so weird.
Yeah.
I think I'm having an aneurysm.
I didn't mean to. It's very,
Laffy's just
it's
gonna
very intense.
Laffy's just gonna wrap her arms around Wolf's waist and hug her.
Grab that ass.
Grab that,
After
grab
like
that ass.
after like a solid few seconds of doing it, like Wolf tentatively does it back.
Aww.
I'm scared, Laffy.
But the reason may well be there could be a familial resemblance. It could be, you know, these features that you see in these Alpine features aren't, you know, I mean, there's more than a passing resemblance between Laffy and Wolf, and there's a vague resemblance between Viridian Swan and Laffy. Like those elven features themselves aren't super unusual. It's just this particular representation is spot on.
Uncanny.
Yeah, uncanny to the point of, well, you know, it might as well be a picture of her.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we'll leave it.